Celebrate love
with 1-800-Flowers.com.
Hey, everybody. So make sure everyone can hear us. I'm going to put that little Zoom in here if you want to join us there.
Celebrate love
with 1-800-Flowers.com.
Oh, why is that talking again at me? Alrighty. To the live. And join us on the Zoom.
Hi.
Hi, Chantel.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can everyone see Chantel?
Can you hear me now?
Can everyone hear and see Chantel? I think I have the settings correct finally after a month and a half of trying.
Oh, I can hear you a lot better now that I yeah. It's
You're
not working.
I can see you on YouTube.
You can see me?
Right the first time. It's like amazing.
Wow. How did we do it? It only
We learn
took
skills.
6 tries.
I know, right?
6 different times. Nothing like a deadline. That's what we were saying earlier.
Missy, did you get the 1-800-Flowers ad?
1-800-Flowers is advertising with us now. That's pretty big.
Well, it's just that's
it just is
YouTube thinks we need to see before it comes on.
Let's see.
What are these? Probably because I spent my entire day in a garden center. Most of my day. All right, Missy.
You said the word garden.
Seen her before,
there we go.
Right? Missy, have we seen you? Yes, we have. Okay, we're gonna add you in. So last week, well, it always gets a little weird when we hit the midnight mark. But I really had to cut out some very inappropriate material. So if we haven't seen your name before, and I'm very terrible with names, so please forgive me if you've been here and I just don't remember your name. We're going to ask you some questions first to make sure you are in fact a quilter and not somebody who wants to be an exhibitionist on the internet, because that was not fun for anybody except the people on the video camera.
They were having fun. Somebody was enjoying
a great time. We were not having fun.
It killed the sewing mood.
It did.
That's for sure.
It very much did.
It was like, you know what? We're done. But now we're not.
Okay.
We're just starting now.
But literally every time midnight hits in Central, that's when it starts to get weird.
It gets weird. It's like Walmart.
So, like that just has to be our cutoff time.
Midnight.
Yeah. It has to our cutoff, because otherwise it's like,
yeah.
So questionable people are on the internet after midnight.
Either that or we got to change the Zoom link at midnight.
All right. Sherry Lacina, have we seen you before? You look like a legitimate person. Hey, Sherry, on YouTube, let us know or on the chat.
What do you call a seam that is less than 1/4 inch but close to?
Yes. Perfect. We also, all right, so Sherry, that's your question.
One more time if you didn't hear. What do you call a seam that is less than 1/4 inch but close to? I always like how you're in space, Misty. That's my favorite. She's out in the eclipse over there.
All right, we got a scant. We're good.
We got a scant.
All right, we got to add a Catherine.
Ooh, Catherine.
What's a good question for Catherine?
What do you call the foot that helps feed fabric as well as the bottom feeding the fabric? What is the name of that foot called?
I feel like that's... How about that one's tricky because not everybody knows what that is.
They're gonna know what that is.
People don't know, I'm telling you.
As much as
scans. When I started quilting, I quilted a queen size quilt with flannel backing.
Well, yeah, you didn't know that the side of the foot
because I didn't know what that
inch
contraption was.
All right, fine.
I'm going to say walking for her, Joanne, and Sharon has answered correctly as well. Alrighty, perfect. quilting seams. What do you call the foot that helps you sew perfect quilting seams? This is for Catherine. This will give you entry into the Zoom.
This has become a game show. Da, 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 da.
Hang on one second. Chantel, you take the wheel here a minute. All right, Kathy has answered the correct one. My children are screaming upstairs. I'm going to see what just happened because we might need a
Oh
third.
no. Is Gwendolyn not here yet? Where's my girl at?
What did
So she was planning on being here. I bet you she's probably getting in right now. So I can't see who is trying to get in because I'm not in charge. So if anybody has some good questions though and doesn't say the answer, that is something we would love to hear. Although, who do we got? We got Sherry and Misty. And of course, you don't have to pop up, in visually, but let us know what you think a good question would be. Let's see. Let me get the chat up. Also, this week, Stephanie's been super busy and I've been super busy because we are preparing for the cruise. And I am now teaching on this cruise, which is a long-winded story, but I'm teaching English paper piecing. You guys English paper piece at all? Because I found out that it's too hard for me to get down to this beautiful basement space that I have. And because of that, I've learned to hand sew pretty well and pretty rapidly. And because I didn't have anybody show me how to do it, I had to learn by messing up 30,000 times. How are you doing, Misty? I see you bebopping up there in space.
I'm okay.
I love your background. It makes me smile. Out in space. Like my head is really out in that same atmosphere.
That's where I stay all the time.
That's where I stay too. Occasionally I'm supposed to come down to earth, but it never works out for me. Let me see if I can pull up YouTube. Stephanie said that her kids are screaming for her. I think I took care of mine. We'll see. Dad maybe learned his lesson. Maybe.
Which one of you are putting me in the suitcase so I can go on a cruise too?
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. I think you're going to have to go with Stephanie. Stephanie's allowed 2 suitcases, whereas I think I'm only allowed 1. Not really sure why. Ooh, let's see. I'm in the YouTube now. And okay, so let's see. Let's see who needs a question here. Okay, we got a whole bunch of walking foot people. We'll hip hop you right in when we can. Sharon said no EPP. Let's see. Kathy said, do I answer here? I'm not really sure. I'm just waiting for Stephanie. So we had some unique visitors the last time that we did our channel, and at about midnight, and they were having a very good time, a very spirited time, and we just don't need those super spirited guests hopping on again. Hey, Peachy Cheeks, which is like kind of the most hilarious name ever. I love it. She said she was just doing the Hexies a little bit ago. She has 300 now, about 2,000 more to go. I feel you there. I have only finished 2 English paper piecing projects ever, but I have been actively working on many of them for several years. So I have bins and bins of Hexie grandma, thing. Anytime I go anywhere, I'm making them. Oh, what are the ingredients for a quilt sandwich? Melissa, that's a good one. What are the ingredients? What, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, spray-based 505 or whatever it's called? Something in there. Sharon, like, sorry, I missed that. Not. Yeah, they have incognito mode for moments like those. I suggest you go on there and not watch an entire quilting video before you get there. Peachy Cheek says, thank you. I love it. Oh, Cynthia, it's your first time on here. That's really cool. We just kind of hang out and, most of the time we don't have a lot of time to plan this. What it comes down to is we all need more sewing time in our life. So it's really fun to just hop on and sew and fall into conversations and then fall out of those conversations a good 37 times. So we enjoy that. Let's see. Dee is doing grandmother's flower garden without the paper. I would love to know more about that. I bet you have to probably press that stuff pretty darn well to make sure you have your seams done. Let's see. Lorena, I've done Hexies, EPP. Not done with that one yet either. Well, yeah, nobody's ever done with an EPP project, I think. It just happens forever. And then like maybe one day you're done, or maybe you pull the I pulled a punch in my blocks, thus making my project probably never get done at this point, and made a jacket. And so on the back of my jacket, I have my Hexies placed. I used Steam-A-Seam 2. That stuff's amazing because once you get it fused to one side, it has a peel and stick, and you can kind of stick it around on your object and kind of say, I like this, I don't like this. And then I went ahead and used my machine with a stitch, what is it called? A blanket stitch. Derp. Should have used that as a question. A blanket stitch to keep it on there. Oh yeah, Kathy got it right. I have to wait though until Stephanie gets back because Stephanie is the keeper of the gate. She's like Severus. She's the one that keeps the gate. So I can't let you in yet, but I'm pretty sure that everybody here is probably quilty. It's just when we get to the later hours, we've had certain guests that well, they're not quilting. They don't use the quilts the way that we do. Oh, yes. I see a 50-50 stay flow here for bias seams. I am a stay flow queen. I'll say it, I'll admit I'm the queen of using stay flow. I actually use a garden sprayer for my stay flow. Hold on, let me hop over here and get it. And it's pink. Because, you know, is there any other color you want for your garden sprayer? This is my starching machine and it's electric. I have to charge it and everything. And it's amazing. I love starch. Stephanie doesn't use starch. She's insane. Sorry, you're back. And now you know you're insane? Is that right? Are you back? No, she's not back. So she doesn't know, but I'll let her know later. That's what friends are here for, right? Oh, what kind of fabric goes between pot holders? That's a good question. Yeah, we need more questions. We could have an entire trivia night and do we would love your ideas, guys, about what you're interested in having on future shows. I mean, we can probably only last about 30 minutes on a single topic, and then we are completely off the seams, you know, and we're just here to sew and have a good time too. So it would be awesome to know what you guys would like to hear or see. I know that Stephanie is going to be doing a sew along before long, and I've been working on the pattern. It's really cool. It's not too big either, so it's not daunting by any means. And I know we're going to be working on that. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out instructions for naming a 2.5-inch border on a table runner. Ooh. Oh, yeah, Peachy and Cheeks, which again, I love that name. It makes me smile. Will this be every Friday? Yeah, this is our 6th week, and we have every intention of doing every week, although we may have to change the date in 2 weeks because we are
Or
officially. Oh, she's back. Yes, the
Yeah,
date
I
or the
definitely
time.
I need this in the beer now because
This and the beer.
my
Yeah,
children.
because kids. So I was asking them for more information about questions and asking them for more information about what they'd like to see and talking about your upcoming sew along, which I'm sure
Which
this
I
will be
have
a
to
great
actually
medium.
film that I still haven't filmed.
Yay. Well,
didn't even
you know,
bring home my overhead camera rig from when I filmed at the garden center earlier this week because I'm like, it's not going to happen.
it's not going to happen right now. That's okay. You could either make a second one or
I will. I have enough fabric to do a second, so we're fine.
I mean, my sample to show for class, except that I did not press my seams open because I went rogue.
Naughty.
I know. And
I
actually,
thought
I
you
love
like
pressing my
your
seams
seams
open.
open.
I do, but I got. That's all it was. It was purely lazy. It was like, can I do this quicker? Although I have some questions about the flying geese. I always seem to not have enough fabric on the top of my flying geese, like where the point comes, and then you have the part on the
You
top.
fudge that shit.
Yeah, I know. I know I do, but I'm just saying, is that the official answer, or
it is the official answer? Sometimes I find you get closer to the size you should when you're doing flat seams, because when you press to the side, you're taking up amount of fabric, and depending on how thick that fabric is, it's going to be a little more, a little less. But you're working with the bias. You are totally what do you call it? You are totally, if
you're not careful, you're stretching it out.
Yeah, it's gonna get weird. And sometimes you're right where you need to be. Sometimes you gotta trim a little off. Sometimes you're short. And as long as you're not short less than 1/8 of an inch, you can use that. And if you are, you need to make a couple more. But basically I trim it close as I can to 2.5 by 4.5 or whatever it is. And if I can't do that, then I will make sure that my points still are like the bottom ones of the big triangle. They are still coming to the edges. And then when I put things together, I either ease in a little bit or I stretch it a little bit, and I make sure that I try to have the point part, like the top point up, so that way I can sew like just to the seam side of where the point is.
Gotcha.
Like you got it like this. You want to sew just to the side of where that point is. And
that makes a lot of sense.
And if it's not a 1/4 inch, it's not a 1/4 inch. You're going to come in a little, you're going to come back out, hit your 1/4 inch.
Yeah, just
nobody ever is going to see the inside of your quilt.
Thank God.
They're just going to see the outside, and the points are where they should be on the outside. So just fudge it.
Just fudge it. I like Dee's question down here. She's asking a question about glasses. Do you have a special pair just for quilting? And I have a pair of glasses that have an extra bit of like prism for when I play piano. And
you look like you have, like, don't you have like some, it looks like something you got from John. Some like really zoom in thing for paper.
What did I do? Wait, what did I do? What did I have?
I've seen you with some sort of headgear on. It's got a light.
My Harbor Freight headpiece. Yes, my Harbor Freight headpiece. Where is it? It was over here.
When we find stuff. So I don't have a special pair just for quilting. I just wear these all the time. I can be okay without them. In fact, I didn't know I needed them until like 1.5 years ago. But now that I have them, I'm like, yeah, I needed them prior.
Yeah, I need those. I know.
They're very helpful when I'm on the computer.
I feel that.
It is helpful when I'm doing quilting and sewing stuff, but if you notice, I've never worn them in a tutorial video, and it's because I can see without them and I'm too vain to wear them. And also my ring light will have little circles in the center. So.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
For a little while, at least, I will continue to not do them because I don't think I can ever.
I like your glasses though. They're cute.
They are teal tortoiseshell, so it's like perfect.
Oh, they would be teal tortoiseshell. Those are.
But those
are Quilt Addict anonymous glasses. If I have seen anything,
know, right? There's a scratch right over the eyeball though, so I need to get that fixed.
Oh, see, I just work with the scratch for 2 years until my insurance covers something else, or I go on Zenny.
I'm pretty sure that it's been a year. With the scratch, but anyway,
Kathy said that she
from last week. This will be a quilt Sunday of leftover pieces from when I cut pajama pants that I still haven't sewn together. But
that's okay. At least you must like cutting or something because you managed to do that. I managed to do entire other projects and clean my house before I'll cut squares.
I don't know. I did nothing else to clean in here. And that's gonna be a problem because I'm obviously we're leaving Wednesday morning. My mom is
Yeah, my
coming-
husband didn't know that, by the way. Yeah,
Of course he didn't.
it's like it's just on the calendar twice, highlighted, sent to you
No, I
with
literally
notifications.
had a conversation with my husband at like maybe 4 o'clock. And I was like, or maybe a little before that. I was like, hey, I've told Lily that you are going to pick her up from gymnastics at 5. And then I'm going to take Angela to go get her rollerblades because we're celebrating her birthday early because her
Yes.
birthday's while I'm gone and she's having a party at a skating rink. And and I just knew that would be easier without a 4-year-old taking along. And
Oh, yeah.
at 4:45, less than an hour after we've had this conversation, I get a text message from him that he's off work, he's going home to shower, and then he'll come meet me. And I'm like, no, you're not. We
No.
just had this conversation. You're coming to pick up Lily, and then you're going to shower and take her to Chick-fil-A for dinner. That's how this is working tonight. But Poppy
That's
has
funny.
a pair of glasses just for quilting. They're bifocals. But 40s, you guess. I am on the verge. I'm 39. So,
I happen to be young at 38.
oh my God. So we just kind of had a
I
girls'
gotta go
night
find
of
my
it.
drink, by the way. Oh, here it is.
My daughter and I just kind of had a girls' night of it because we never get time by ourselves anymore. And
It was cute.
it was very cute. Chantel called to see where I was.
I was like, I can't log in for you yet. I don't know
it's all
what to
good.
do.
But
Well, she was out picking up bricks.
I have it here. But anyway, we went to Huckleberry's
Yes.
Pizza. There's a story behind the brick. I'll bring it back in a minute. What was I saying? Well, we went to Huckleberry's Pizza, which is in downtown Rock Island, which is where Chantel and I spent a lot of Friday and Saturday nights and Thursday nights, where I somehow managed to spend over $20 at a 20-cent draft night once. I don't know how I did that.
That is so impressive. I mean, that's
I don't think I
resume
drank
worthy.
everything. I must have bought stuff for them.
Well, at 20 cents a pop, you could be quite generous.
You can. But anyway, so
That's
we were
funny.
there and I was like, yeah, they asked me been here before. I'm like, it's been a while. I used to come here when you guys had shows, which was a solid like 15 years ago. And like
Which
one time,
the server was probably 15, honestly.
the server I don't think
Imagine.
was alive.
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly.
And so they at this place. So I don't know if any of you guys know what Day Trotter is. But it was in the Quad Cities. They bring in indie artists because we're right on the I-80 corridor. And I was and they would record them, strip down acoustic versions, put it out there. Like Lizzo did a track, Vampire Weekend did a track, before they were anything. Like so many famous artists have done this. And Sean Moeller, who ran the thing, used to work at the newspaper with us. And I was the arts and entertainment reporter. So I was at all these things. One time, Vampire Weekend played a show at this pizza parlor to 17 people and then got super famous like 6 months later. So like people could have gone and seen them for like a song and a dance and had this private show. And
Literally for an order of like pizza puffs. They could have
Basically.
had like, yeah.
So this girl is like, she's like, oh, and I'm just like, yeah, I used to be cool when I was young.
There was a time.
It was.
There was a time.
But anyway, so they're tearing up the street, and our area dates back to before the Civil War. There was actually a prisoner of war camp for Confederate soldiers on Arsenal Island, which is kind of in between the cities. And so the bricks were originally laid, or the roads were originally laid with brick, and then they just paved over the top of it, and they're ripping everything up. And I
mean, those roads were rough, to be fair.
Rough. Like every road.
It could not probably handle being paved over again.
Probably not. But I was showing Angela on the way in. I was like, look, they used to do straight over bricks. Let's see if we can see some. And they had done like half the road. And so sure enough, you could see the bricks. And then we came out. She's like, come and look at the bricks again. So we did. And I was like, let's take a brick.
Let's take a brick.
Obviously, they're getting rid of them. We're gonna get a brick. And so I got one, and then Chantel calls me on the way home and is like, "Where are you?" And I told her what we had been up to, and she's like, "Did you get two?" So now I have to go down and steal another brick for Chantel tomorrow night. This is gonna go in my garden, I think. But
I mean, I'm from the
there's
Quad
nothing cool
City
on it,
area
though. It's just a
originally.
brick.
I mean, I grew up outside of the area. I mean,
Yeah.
my bio dad was from Rock Island. He actually lived in the Augie area
Mhm.
and everything. So I spent a lot more time near Augie than I had realized as a kid because we would go down to like Lincoln Park and watch the summer
Oh, yeah.
theater and stuff like that. Because my mom was a romance book lover and, you know, the kind of person
You don't get much
that
more romance than Shakespeare.
exactly. Absolutely. Nothing more romantic than Lincoln Park.
I mean, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I mean, not after our college experience of Lincoln Park.
Oh no, probably not. But
Right.
yeah, we're very good at falling off topic. I let them all know that. We
It's all
do
good.
this every
We-
week. I'm kind of curious what everybody's up to sewing because that is ultimately what
After
we
that,
do.
I have another funny story for you for my adventures this evening.
But let us know in the comments what you're up to sewing tonight, or if you're on Zoom, drop something in the comment as well and let us know. I personally am working on a running with scissors bag that I insisted I must have done for our trip. But, you know, there are a few other things that definitely need to get done more than this bag. But here I am quilting this because there's nothing like needing to get something else done to make you do something you don't need to do. I'm very good at that. Oh, Chris is doing pillowcases. Nice. I've actually never made a pillowcase. I bought stuff from Seth years ago when she actually had like a real store, the brick and mortar store, which really was brick and mortar.
It was.
By
There
the
was
way.
actually a brick road outside of that store.
Yeah. It was next door to a bar that when we got married, my husband and I got married on campus at Augie. And we went to a bar over there called Kavanaugh's, not right after we got married, which was kind of funny. Could not go to Kavanaugh's. Like Augie legend.
So another college drinking story. I was the editor of the student newspaper for 2 years. And before I got on, we would struggle really hard to make deadline, which was stupid because we were a weekly paper. And I was like, anytime we finish before midnight, we're going to Kavanaugh's because it was $2 Tuesdays and that was the day of our deadline. And we would just all buy around for $10 and we could like be very content with ourselves for spending $10 each. And it was a very good reward system and it worked very well for my team.
Deadlines were met because of Kavanaugh's.
They were
making dreams come true there.
I haven't been there
Is
since
it still there?
It is still there. I haven't been there since the pandemic, but prior to the pandemic, they were still doing $2 Tuesdays, like many years on. And
no inflation.
Well, I haven't been there since the pandemic.
That's still impressive, though.
It was impressive. However, St. Patrick's Day is the same weekend as National Quilters Day or Quilt Shop Day or whatever. And so we could never do anything for it because the parking lot was an absolute like
nightmare.
Yeah, like nobody was getting anywhere close to it. So we never celebrated it because it was just too much.
That's funny.
Dee's working on Quilt As You Go Hexies.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Kathy is doing EPP. Melissa May
way to
is
go.
stitching her quilt binding on a National Parks quilt. Becky B is making a Sophie tote. I don't know what that one is. You have to.
Oh, a what?
A Sophie tote.
Oh, I want to know what the Sophie tote is too.
Krista is awesome. Oh, you said pillowcases. We already talked about that one.
Yeah, I got the pillowcases.
Get on Zoom. So I will pin my comment with the Zoom link to the top.
If you click on the Zoom link, it'll open Zoom essentially for you. I have to do it every week to remember to. If I click on the link though, I remember how to do it.
Yeah, if you click on the link, it'll like immediately take you there. And because you have commented with us, we will let you write it. Because we know you're legitimately a quilter.
Oh, binding on a t-shirt quilt. I bet you that t-shirt quilts always seem to be very large, so that might take you a while.
Getting ready to long arm one of 2 quilts you have deadlines on. There's nothing like a deadline. So I was texting
Yep.
with Ray. Oh, it's a buy Annie bag. Her patterns are so great.
Oh, really? It's a Bianni bag?
Yeah,
I can't picture it.
apparently. I was
I'm doing a Bianni bag right now too.
is it coming on the trip?
Well, yeah, that's why, because I should be doing my slides. So instead, I'm making this bag.
It's okay.
Very typical me.
I am horribly unprepared as well. So it's all good.
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm unprepared. I'm just not prepared for the right thing.
This is gonna be my new door knocker, Gentile.
What's that?
This is my new door knocker.
Oh, so we have a thing for owls, which
We
is
do.
makes
It was
sense.
our
Stephanie's
sorority
fabric line
animal.
had owls.
What was that?
Well, your
fabric
fabric
line,
line
yes.
had owls,
It did.
and that awesome chalk blender, which
I
don't
told
have that.
them that should be a bait.
No, because
But they never quite
not cake. Oops, sorry.
You're
Can you
good.
hear me?
Yes, and we know you're legit because you've got a quote in the background. So that's all
It's
good.
me?
okay. I'm not sure. We heard something.
Sounds like you're
That's
dropping stuff.
funny.
Oh boy.
What are you doing today?
Can you see me?
Oh, I can see
No,
it.
we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay.
Or I can't see you.
I
at
think
least.
I had problems with this the last time I was on.
Okay.
It was like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. I don't know. Whenever
That's okay. We were struggling too 4 or 5 weeks ago on figuring out how to do this. So
But now
Yeah.
I figured out what the problem was. And then you were so kindly reading off what in the hell I was supposed to do to get this thing live. And now I
Yep.
remember all the things.
we've finally done it.
It did.
um
I'm attempting to not burn the computer cord while I iron things.
So what are you working on tonight, Steph?
I am working on finishing, aka starting project I'm teaching on the cruise.
Well, there you go.
It's
Okay.
44 inches square. There's a lot of books. It'll be fine. But
I'm almost done with at least the there's the kitties. Woohoo!
you
yeah,
see my
The
kitties?
kitties are back.
Kitties? Oh,
We
doing
love to have
pets join us.
random animals show up.
Luckily, there's only
on the
2
couch
today.
Next to a head.
Only tell you, so you're not babysitting pets anymore, huh?
No pets, no kids. I'm happy here.
Yes.
okay.
My dog, one of the 4 dogs is sitting over here. He likes me. Out of all of them, I don't have to force him to spend time with me.
I have one of 3 with me.
Oh, another kitty.
I thought for sure I was gonna have a 4-year-old. So when I had to go upstairs and break up older child, decided it was a good idea to kick the door.
Oh
The door was shut, but it's not like it shuts all the way because it's an old house. And
Okay,
so
what's your
younger
baby?
child's finger was in the little gap.
Oh,
So we had to check and see, are we broken? Do we have a bruise?
is it another ER visit this week?
I don't think we have another ER visit going.
Okay, good.
We're okay. But I'm just like,
She
oh,
is so unaware of space.
no, none whatsoever. But and why does she think it's a good idea to kick a door in the first place? She is almost 10 years old. Like we should know better that we don't kick doors.
Well, now we know. Now we know.
Some learn. Some
I
learn by
think we're
doing.
Still gonna have it.
Yeah,
And it's just like it was an
that's true.
accident. And I'm like, it was also an accident when you gave your sister a concussion with a baseball bat. We need to stop having these accidents.
They're gonna think we hurt our children on purpose. So please
know.
stop.
No, we had 2 ER visits in a week, one for each child. Both of them because my older child was unaware of what was going on around her. And
It's completely true.
I was
But
just
don't
wondering-
worry, she's getting her rollerblades for her birthday.
Oh,
That's
she
gonna
also
work
got
out.
her. She has a helmet, and we got her a new set of pads, wrist guards, and elbow guards. So
Oh yeah, I
hopefully
told you about that part. So I used to be a competitive roller skater.
Oh, yeah?
Artistic roller skating, like dance and figures and
Cool.
such. It's a dying art. But and I even did it just before I had John David. And then the first year after having John David, I continued. And I did it as a kid as well. And so I'm pretty good on skates, but sometimes I trip over my own feet when trying to walk.
Mm.
So, I know that it is possible to be graceful in a sport, but like unable to do even like the basic.
Yeah, she's a
Thing.
ballerina. She's training to go on
And
point
she's
in like 2
beautiful.
years, and it's just like, come on, guys, this is not good.
Yeah, what can you do?
But yeah, I was highly concerned that I was going to be getting a call from DCFS. And Chantel's husband,
Yeah.
who did rotation in the ER, told me that that was unlikely. So that was calm me down.
Well, they kind of know based on your, they can tell. There's ways
Some
they know
kids-
if you're lying.
Some kids only learn by doing, and they
And
have
some
to
husbands.
touch the hot stove in order to
Mhm.
realize that it's hot.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
my
I
daughter
have
needs to
one of
touch it
those.
3 times before she gets it down.
Ha!
Anybody hear my cat in the background?
Yes,
Mhm.
it's adorable though because it's a cat.
Nobody cares. It's all good.
If
He
somebody's
is a,
mad
he
that
is a, he's
We would
still a
love if he came on camera, actually. It would be great.
He's
Yeah.
he's a tomcat. He hasn't been fixed yet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so
That's my other
he's
one.
trying to pick up women on the internet.
In the house.
That normally only happens after midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not midnight
And-
yet.
there must be cats outside.
You hear that little squeak?
Oh, Dee had a question. She said, when you go into the Zoom, it allows you to talk instead of type. Does everybody see you too? You can keep it so that you don't have your photo or video up if you would like that. You get to choose both sound, like if you want sound on or off, or if you want video on or off. And if you want both off, that's an option too. But you do get to see all of our pictures at once and things like that. I'm not sure if when we do it right now, if it shows
I
all
don't
of us.
think
It does.
shows all of us.
It does,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay. So yeah, you can come in and you can chat with us and you can just approve your audio only. And like if things get loud around you, you can mute yourself out for a second.
Or like
Um,
I like to keep my headphones on because it keeps the sound of the sewing machine dampened a little bit. It just wants to pick up my voice a little more than if I just have my tablet. And some people just like listening to the banter.
and we're gonna
They're here to be, flies on the wall, and hey, that's cool too. You're always welcome to type in. Let's see. Krista says, I see 6 pictures. That's true. We haven't heard from Gwendolyn yet.
No, I'm right here.
Yay!
I've been here.
I think you
I just
don't
didn't
Oh,
want
I
to.
know.
I just
I'm
didn't
just
want
saying
to.
we haven't heard from you.
No, Stephanie let me in. I was late because I had to let the dogs in, and I could hear you from the other room, but I couldn't do anything because I was, dealing with the dogs. And by the time I got back here, she
I was
already
dealing with my
upstairs.
children.
Yeah, and so then you were
I
talking,
gotcha.
and I didn't want to interrupt you. I figured you'd figure it out sooner or later.
Could you hear
I
me
mean-
yelling at my older child when I was
No, not at all. And honestly, I realized that if you ever have to walk away, I could probably just talk to the screen for like a half hour.
I'm sure you could.
This is
It
a
was-
truth statement.
I
So
mean,
the
anyone
other-
who knows me, Gwendolyn's like, yep.
So the other crazy thing my daughter and I did, it was mostly stops for her getting stuff ready for her birthday party. But we also had to get something for me because I'm doing videos for our local garden center and like filming and producing them and stuff. But I also have to shoot the B-roll. So once a month or so, I get sent home with like $200-300 worth of garden stuff, and I get to do things to my yard. And this time we shot this week, and I got 2 blueberries, 2 raspberries, and a blackberry to get sent home so I can plant them so that we can show like how to do the thing. And I'm like very much background. Like I like wear a hat. I make sure no one can see my face because like I am not the star of the show there. But so I had to get some stuff to trellis it, and we were at the farm store. And at the farm store, they had baby chicks and they had baby ducks. And they were adorable. And so once we had found everything, Angela wanted to see the ducks. And so we went back. And I took some video and I sent it to my husband thinking that Lily, my younger daughter, would enjoy it, seeing it. And then I was like, we're going to have some fun with this. And so I told Adam that we needed eggs. And the chicks were only $4 and they were 20% off because they were 2 weeks old. And so I got 5 chickens and 2 ducks. And there was also a sale on the which was true, and that for like $129 for like a tiny one. You could maybe only fit 2 chickens in it. But anyway, we had talked like the other night about how someday I would love to have like a small
You
menagerie.
told him all this.
And so he totally believed it. And to the point where he called me and he's like, you had better be making all this up. You not bringing home any chickens unless they're rotisserie. And
That's my kind of chicken.
And then Angela told the truth. I was just like laughing. I was like, the more detailed I can make this, the more believable it would be. And I told him that, you know, she'd already named the ducks.
And you went all
in
in.
my car in a tiny little box, and I know that's how they send him home from TikTok. And oh, it was so fun. But he was mad. He was not happy with me.
And then it turns out you didn't buy them.
But
you did steal a brick. I mean, borrow a brick.
I did do that, which I feel like is the least eye roll thing that I can do that night. But when Angela asked him, why are you so mad? He goes, because it's exactly something your mother would do. And I'm like, you're not wrong.
I think we all think our mothers did, and we just deny it.
Yes.
Our way of keeping them on their toes.
Yeah.
You know, they're lucky they have us for that. See?
I know. He wouldn't have.
I always threaten wife swap. He's like, nope.
Girls or ladies, I have a lot of house square triangles to do.
Oh man,
that is.
I feel that.
I mean,
I'm still working on my quilt, and I still have a stack of blocks to do.
Well, are you using the block for your half square triangles?
I'm just gonna make whatever. They're extras.
Your cat's butt's there, and that's hilarious. I just sewed up this little pretty boy. That's going to be the inside of my
oh cute.
Yeah, and well, I free motioned all of this like really beautifully, and then I cut it the wrong size.
Oh no.
Don't you
this
hate
one
them?
got this one got cut the wrong size. You see the
Can you like alter the pattern?
I have one of those.
Or is it way too late for that?
I have one of those.
Here. Well, while we're talking, can you see that right there?
Oh.
I cut right into my flying goose. So now I got to remake it. I had a perfect flying goose and I cut right into it.
That stinks. It was a measure once cuss twice moment for me too, because I was like, look at all that beautiful free motion I did.
It's
look
beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And then I just cut it wrong.
And then if you had to cut it right, there would have been a mistake on it. And not that anybody would notice. But this I sewed perfectly. It was one of my first little projects that I did. That's just one of those cases, put your stuff in.
Yeah, I like making those because
Yeah.
they're somewhere in
So-
between. I feel like I, don't have to work on
Yes.
something forever.
Yeah. But what happened
Finished
was,
my
you're
3-yard.
short.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. It's
Oops.
pretty, it's perfect, and I was so proud of myself. And the stitching is all straight, and I'm like, there's got to be something. And then
There's got to be
measure it.
something.
Out of order.
You don't have much faith.
Oh
of
man,
course-
yeah, there's something. Of course.
I wasn't good at math until I started quilting.
Yeah,
I thought it was
it really-
terrible. Terrible. And it turned out I had
I
a
was
bad
great at
algebra
math.
teacher, pre-algebra teacher who made me think I was bad. And I'm very good at math. Like before I started all this, like I would do statistical analysis of like marketing campaigns and
oh
calculate
my
it
gosh.
to the penny. Like Google Analytics certified, the whole deal. And I'm like, why did I think I was bad at math? I'm not bad at math. So
Oh,
No,
see, I came
no.
into Augie as a math major.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was no good. But that
They
was
can
wrong.
make you
I-
feel that way.
I had to work on something other than my anniversary quilt, so I finished my 3-yard quilt.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Cool.
I
Oh,
was
that's
next
cute.
to a booth in Houston once. They probably did $30,000 minimum selling 3-yard quilts.
Really? Was it Fabric
They had
Cafe?
it all packed up. You
No.
could buy it. They had it on there where it's like if you like get this many of this one, it equals this size quilt. And people would
Yeah.
just buy like 4 or 5 because they liked it and they wanted it to be big. And it was I was in shock at how well
This
they
is for my mother-in-law in Milwaukee. And
You
I'm
guys-
sending her
Oh.
I'm sending her the quilt with a $3 Walmart blanket in the middle as my padding.
That I've heard of people doing things like
Yeah.
that, or even if they want
It's
something
awesome.
really light, they'll use a flannel sheet or a regular sheet as the in between.
Mhm.
Do you guys ever go to the website? I think it's called She Can Sew
Yes.
or
She
so
does a Monday.
Yes. She does
Smart
like
Monday vlogs?
freebies every single day, and you can basically get a good portion
hi,
of
let me
her
get my-
patterns for free. And she does a whole
I'll be right
bunch
back.
of 3-yard quilts and little bags and stuff. Love her stuff.
She does a blog on Mondays, and if you download the blog on Monday, you can download the PDF for free.
Yep. Well, she does a thing if you get her emails, you could go every single
Yeah.
day and get
Oh, really?
freebies. Yeah. And then if you pay, I think it's only like $30, you could basically
Oh, I
get
can't.
any pattern she has and download it for free, which is awesome because for $30 you get, a good 100 and I don't know, 50 patterns or something like that. And for me, it's just the entertainment of like, if I wanted to make them, I could. Gwendolyn and I were talking about this the other day. It was like, I think my hobby is like reading the pattern, not actually making the pattern.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine.
collecting the pattern, collecting
And
it
going,
and
oh, that sounds so good. Oh, that looks so
Yeah.
pretty.
This is how my doll pattern collection has been created.
Yes. Did you get all your patterns for American Girl yet? Have you found them? The
What?
originals?
The originals? No, I haven't have them all yet. I
Who
have
are
a
you
couple.
still
I'm like
looking for?
I think I need Addie and well, let me go get her. We'll see. These are so
Yeah.
cool.
I
know
buy a
about
lot of American
Girl.
Girl online, and so I've been looking for them to come up as a bargain. All right, well there you go. I fixed it.
They're
All
honestly not that
right.
bad. You can usually get them for, like,
Frankenbatting.
$30.
You can't even tell. Actually,
That's good.
Can't.
So I have Samantha. This one I got as a little girl.
You
And
did
Aw.
a budget.
I have 2 Molly, so one of these is going to you. Let me set it out so I don't forget about it.
woo!
And I have a Josefina. This I got as a
Uh-oh.
little girl. I made my first ever sewing project from this with my grandma.
Did you really?
Yep,
Oh,
with
really?
it was my Nona. So Nona is Italian for grandma, and she did not read or write in English or Italian. And
Oh
so
yeah, you did tell me about that.
yeah, so she just knew like how to sew. And she was a
That's
great
so cool.
seamstress. But even me at like my 8-year-old self was highly anal retentive when it came to following the instructions. And so I was very
No,
like,
Nana.
no, we're supposed to do this, but I like didn't understand like what the heck it was I was doing. And so I could tell, like as an adult now, I can tell that she was trying her best to stay calm with me, but she was really frustrated.
Yeah.
And then I remember at the end, and like doll clothes are hard because they're so small. And she goes, next time we make it something for you. And it wasn't next time, but it was a lot of fun. So
That's something you'll
cute.
always remember.
one year
That's
I got these, I think, for my grandma, my other grandma, and then some fabrics and trims and stuff from my aunt who is a quilter. Although at that time she probably was quilting like with actual cardboard templates. And then my other grandma taught me how to do it. So
cool.
and I still have the dress.
Oh, cool.
You do.
I
I
do.
have a whole bunch of dresses from my mom that she made when I was little. We just didn't have a lot of money, and
Yeah.
we were pretty much broke. So she got a whole bunch of fabric from the
What are
elderly
you
people
doing?
that she worked with, and she made dresses in the middle of the night for Christmas for me, and I still have them all. So, doll dresses.
I was thinking about you guys this weekend when I went to Joanne. They have the McCall's patterns for $1.99, and I saw a bunch of the little baby doll, like American Girl doll patterns, and I was thinking,
They
I
do
have
a little
like
better, but you're still only getting like 2 outfits at a time.
Yeah.
So it's not a great, and
Well,
those patterns are like $25. I also got Earthen recently.
Oh, nice. There's a
I
possible relaunch of her, by the way,
I found
of Kirsten
the beat
on
up
the American
one
Girl.
that you and I need to perform surgery on for a video at some point. In John's scrubs.
Yes. Let's do it. I'll take some
I
scrubs
worked
for
at
that.
McCall's for 2 years, and
Thank you.
I
That's awesome.
I picked patterns for them. You should see the machines that print those things. Holy cow. It's like walking into a place that does the newspaper.
Oh, that would make sense, actually.
Yeah.
I used to work at a newspaper and we called it Big Blue, and it was 2 stories high.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be 3 stories high. It was huge.
Layer
Needed
after
ear
layer
protection to
of
go in when it was running.
Yeah, definitely. I loved working there.
I still
But
cut
I
the
don't
pattern
know.
wrong again.
No.
Although this time I cut it too big. So at least there's
Well,
that.
that's a better mistake.
I'm just going to leave them that big until I'm done. You know what? It's fine.
It's all good.
I hate
Creative
cutting.
Cats
I
wants to
suck
know what
at
you're sewing,
cutting.
Chantel.
I am sewing a running with scissors bag from by Annie's. I don't think I had the picture in here. Oh, here it is. I had to make a photocopy of it because I like to check off and make notes as I go.
I feel like
Yeah.
I
don't
don't
wanna-
like cruise.
That's a good
reviews,
idea.
You know?
See, this is what I need. I want to make it for the cruise so that I can bring all my stuff.
Yeah, I
What
had
kind of cruise?
thoughts of doing many things.
We're teaching on a cruise. Stephanie and I are, mostly
Are.
Stephanie, but I am too.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I fell into it too.
I
They
know.
have a transatlantic quilting cruise. And so we start from Florida, and then we have 7 days at sea, during which time this quilting retreat is happening as one of the many activities on the ship.
Oh,
And then we have
love-
1 day in an island off the shore of Portugal, another
Azores or
sea
Azores.
Azores, yeah. And then from there it's all stops. So it's like UK, Ireland,
Belgium.
Belgium, and then we end in Southampton, which is where the Titanic set sail from. And Chantel and I are making a beeline for London, where we're going. We've figured out what our top priorities are. You want to tell them?
Yes. So
Yeah.
we're our main goal is to get to the fabric district to see if they have sale Liberty fabric.
Oh,
But then we're
yeah.
definitely going to the Liberty store. Stephanie
Oh,
has
yeah.
a bakery that she needs to go to. We
Which is
decided we
nearby.
need to eat at a pub, get some tea, and probably ride a double-decker bus. And
Yes.
between
Oh,
those
yeah,
things, we
definitely.
think we'll hit most
Bangers
of the
and
goals.
mash. Bangers
So-
and mash.
Oh yeah, we gotta eat the weird. Well, I guess it's not weird for them. It's food.
No, it's just sausage.
We should do a
and
full
mashed
English
potatoes.
breakfast someday.
We should do a what?
Full English breakfast, which is like
What
toast
is
and,
a full English breakfast?
Crumpet.
toast and beans, I think.
Crumpets is
Ew.
part of that too. I think. It's hard to find
all day
crumpets.
as we tourist around. It's okay.
I mean,
We've known each other.
I
long.
don't know. We have. I mean, we're finally roommates though. So we were supposed to be roommates my senior year and her first year out.
I think I
And
took
then-
the spot is what happened.
No, there was 4 spots and we were looking for a place with 5. And then you guys found a place with 4.
I got invited in.
Well, I
It
got
was, like,
booted
not
out.
part of the original discussion.
I
So
got
I didn't
booted.
take your
but
spot.
that's okay. It's not a big deal. I've forgiven, you for your fault.
I never knew until you told me years afterwards that was supposed to be your spot.
Yeah, that was supposed to be my spot. But it worked out fine. I ended up living with John, who's my husband.
husband.
So
So it's fine.
yeah. Well, we went on foreign term
Oh.
anyways. Yeah. Your cat is like, no, this is my show. Did you know? Have you been on YouTube at all, Stephanie, to see if we have any questions? I have not.
I have been cutting things.
Let's
So I
see,
have
Dee
my
is like,
pattern
which
up
American
correctly.
Girls do you need? I actually only need
She's
4
got, like,
more
all of
dolls. I only need 4 more to get every single doll in the historic line.
Really?
Wow.
Yes,
That's
every
wow.
single one.
Love stuff.
So, and 3 of them are like current. Well, actually, all 4 of them I could get at the store, but I will not pay full price. So
Like,
I
no.
have to wait.
I keep trying to win an eBay bid on an Isabel doll because that's the ballerina.
Yes.
But I last time I bid 60 and it wasn't the minimum, but it's in really good shape. And so I figure if I just
I'll
keep
keep an
bidding,
eye out.
like, well, there's other ones that are way cheaper, but they're looking rough. So like hair, like I don't know if I
Yeah.
can get rough.
No, I'll keep an eye out. I try not to spend more than like 60 shipped.
Yeah.
And I do find them unless they're one of those really special ones that you can't find,
Yeah.
like Cecile, or I don't know how, is it Cecile or is it, I don't know.
I've got
I don't know how to pronounce her name.
I had Samantha
Cecily,
Molly-
Cecily.
I had Samantha, Molly, and Josefina as a girl. And my sister and I between us had the full set.
Hi, Kate.
And of the originals. Cat appearances. And then I found Kirsten for like
Oh, look at
bucks.
this.
He's a total limb reattachment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, Barbara said that the fried toast, part of an English
best.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what
I,
else. I would
And
like
marmalade.
I would like an
Marmalade.
Abby and I would like a Felicity.
I have an Addie that is an original,
Do you?
like
My
first,
sister has the
yeah.
original.
And I have a Felicity that somehow has a flat face. She was like one of the dolls that came out during the years where they were like very rubbery, plasticky.
Hmm.
And you can squish your face and do this thing. And then you let go and it goes. Yeah. So, but I
That's
have
funny.
her.
Not ideal.
So actually, I don't have Josefina either.
Well, I would like another dark haired doll that could pose as Elphaba because currently I have Elphaba in my daughter loves Wicked. She's never seen the show. But
You
we have
need the
her.
Cabby doll.
Is that what that is? But
Yeah, Cabby is the one that
so my
played that. in
Josefina is currently Elphaba, and I would like her back in her historical clothes, or the one that I made as my first dress, one of those two. And
I mean, I have at least 3 of the Luciana.
We have one of those because my daughter wants to be a software engineer for NASA. So I try to encourage that. She's got a lot of accessories coming for her birthday that I also bought secondhand. Because obviously
Does she have the robot dog yet?
She's not had the robot dog.
Yeah, I might bring
you
that
can
for
get
her.
them. They're all over the place. But
Oh, I know, I have one. That's why I'm
Yeah.
trying to come up with ideas too.
but
If I come to that birthday party, I gotta have something to give, and I have a lot of doll
I'm
stuff.
sure you do.
so.
I will let you know what we have and what we don't have.
It's excessive. Well, we
I-
know this. I mean, it's like in my entire living room now. I should find a
Right.
picture. It's excessive.
What does John feel about this?
You know, he
Just lets you be happy.
he really does.
I'm
He's
right
just-
there with you.
You know, he's a good husband.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like a corner of our living room as it is
Oh,
right
how
now.
cool.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So we have like a whole land going on over here.
I saw your photo from today. Look,
There
were
we
you
go.
playing by yourself with the tea set, or were you and Hazel playing with the tea set?
It might have been me. That's me
That's
alone. There you go. You have your
What?
condo over there and your doll doing science. And the horses living up in the stable up there somewhere. Hi, Lily.
Cool.
There's Luciana playing science.
How did your
I like to set them up for the kids to play with, and then they get to play, and then oh, here's my new machine I just got.
Okay.
Gwendolyn, you gotta
what
look
is
at
it?
this.
What
Oh,
is
yeah,
it?
look-
It's a Sears Kenmore, but they're lovingly known as the Lavender Lady because it's a very unique color. It's like the silver lavender color,
yeah.
and I paid $25
What?
Oh,
With the cabinet
cool.
with
too?
the table. Yep.
Oh, I
Oh.
love that. I love that one.
Congrats.
It's
gorgeous.
so pretty. And it's actually just in amazing condition. There's like no rust or anything. There's a little bit of the paint is chipped away on the back side,
Uh-huh.
like along a seam line where it would naturally.
So
Come
is that
apart.
one a high shank?
It is.
Did it come with
Yeah.
all the feets and all the lovely extras?
It has some feet. It has the basic zigzag cam. And it is missing some of its cams. But for the most part, what I need is there, and it uses the standard 15 bobbins. So nothing
You need
weird.
to send me the info for the serial number and stuff. I might have a set of extra cams that will
They're
fit
a
it.
size E.
Okay. Because I've got some cams that don't fit any of mine.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would
so
be
I
good.
could try and see, and then you might have a whole set.
What do the cams look like? I have some cams and I don't
They
know
call
where they go to.
They call them hats
Yeah.
because they look like little hats.
Right.
Mine
Right.
doesn't have the
have some
hat
weird looking
portion.
ones.
Mine's like frisbee. Doesn't have a raised section. Like
Okay.
not like a hat, like a top hat. It would be more like, one of those fascinators.
I'll have
Yeah.
to show you the ones I have. They came with the machine. They were inside the drawer in one of the old machines.
But they're the wrong one.
Yeah, they're not the right ones. I have a Netchi or Nietzsche.
I looked over and I'm sorry, I have one of those too, actually. No, mine's an MDeco, but I have a Nietzsche one too that I'm working on fixing. So Stephanie had her daughter Lily in her arms.
And now it's a
And
dog.
then I looked away and I'm talking to you guys and I look back up and I'm like, oh,
happened?
Remy.
Remy needs some love too.
It was a magic trick. Baby to puppy.
It was just like,
I spent my morning editing video in bed, and the dog's like,
it was so good.
we have a king size bed, but they were all on my side. It was like I was part of the dog pile.
You should
And
show
then
them
I
the
had to leave and
picture.
go do things, and so Remy needs love again.
They had accepted you as one of their own.
Say hi, Pancake. Hi, Pancake.
Oh, cupcake?
Pancake.
Pancake.
Pancake, even better.
You know why? Because when I picked him up when he was 3 weeks old, he smelled like pancakes. So it's stuck.
That's awesome. He's just
Now
pancake.
yeah, and he's the sweetest little man.
Oh,
He never uses his nails when he's playing with you. Nothing. He's never bit me, scratched me.
that's so nice.
No.
I love
I like
cats, but my
cats.
husband is allergic.
I'm allergic. Yeah. My husband doesn't like cats.
My husband does not either.
I think it's because they're more like women.
Maybe.
Because they're very,
They're not so simple-minded.
yeah, we pretend to be simple-minded, but we got you.
Oh, we got
He
you.
knows.
That's right.
He knows there's no simple-mindedness.
I saw a video today of a cat that was taking water therapy to lose weight, and his
Uh-huh.
name was Thicken Nugget because he was really fat. So instead of chicken nugget, it was Thicken Nugget.
Chicken nugget.
That sounds appropriate.
And then somebody's like, well, you're going to have to change his name when he loses his weight from his therapy. You're going to have to call him Slender Tender.
Or was it Slim?
These are my people. Like Thicken Nugget, Slender Tender. Like
Definitely.
Thicken Nugget.
That is great.
I'm like, I'm using that in my everyday. Like, I got to stop eating or I'm going to be a Thicken Nugget.
I'm going to be a chicken nugget here pretty soon.
I'm gonna be a
Chicken
nugget.
morning, so I can be a slender tender.
So I can be a Slender Tender instead of a Thicken Nugget. Whoever did that, if ever, this won't ever happen, but if that person wants to find me, I need to give you a high five. You deserve it.
Some people
Huge
are so
pat on the back.
clever.
I know. You see, I like to think that I'm clever, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought of Thicken Nugget.
Or
Or at least I didn't think of it yet.
I know I'm not that clever, but I'm like, if I do anything clever, it's like I'm the only one that thinks I'm clever. Like I'll laugh and
Yeah.
nobody else laughs.
Yeah, I like that too, yeah.
I never think
You
of
and
anything
every
good in
husband.
the moment. It's always like an hour or two later.
That's when the kids look at you and go, "Excuse me? That wasn't funny."
I know, that
Stephanie, did
wasn't
you-
funny.
Stephanie,
But in
did
your
you
mind's
say you
eye
always
it
think
is.
of the clever things like an hour or two later?
At least, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's
this is why I
totally-
was a good writer, but never like funny.
exactly like it like live, not so funny, but give me 24 hours and yeah,
Yeah.
I could come up with some stuff.
Oliver.
Oh no, see, I got it. Not to brag or anything, but like
Yes.
that's like my God-given talent is that
What's that?
I can whip out witty things
Oh.
on the spot.
Chantel's language is sarcasm, though.
What?
You do
No.
a lot of
What's
sarcasm.
your love language?
No. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been married for a number of years. Of course, my love language is sarcasm.
I know, right?
See, there you go.
My
Of
husband's
course it is.
dad called my mother-in-law woman, and my husband has started doing that to me. And like when he
Oh,
answers
nice.
the phone now, he sounds like his father the way he says hello. And I finally told him, I'm like, I am not married to Mark Stebbing. I'm married to
Oh,
Adam.
I've had to have that
I do
conversation before
not
with
want to
John.
be called woman. But when I played the chicken
Oh.
prank, there was a woman in that text message to me. It was
Well, I
"You
feel like
better
maybe
not
that
be
one
burrito
was
chicken
deserved.
unless it's a rotisserie. Oh, it's
Weird when husbands call their wives mama.
Oh no.
Well, I call John dad, but I only call him dad because I'm talking to him while the kids are around.
Yeah, that's different.
It's never like daddy. Have I been a good
Oh,
girl?
no.
Like,
That's
oh,
got issues.
that's
crazy.
midnight conversation right
mine.
there.
Yeah, that's got issues written all over it.
Like, oh no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But now my toddler calls her grandmother Bonnie because my father-in-law calls his wife Bonnie.
Yeah,
Right.
my
And so I'll
grandson,
point to the pictures. I'll be like, who's this? And she'll be like, Sissy, who's this? Bobo, which is her brother, because she can't say bro. And then you'll point to grandpa and she'll say, grandpa. But then you'll point at grandma and she'll say, Bonnie.
yeah, so my grandson was doing that because when his mom would get home from work and after being with me all day, I'd be like, hi. And my daughter's name's Zoe, and I'd be like, hi, Zoe, and we start talking, whatever. So he started when she would walk in going, it's Zoe, it's Zoe.
It's
And
Zoe.
we had to reverse it and like teach him, hey, that's mama, that's mama. And so yeah, now we just refer to her as mama.
That's
So that
probably
way he
why I
gets
call
it.
John Dad,
Yeah.
because John David was calling him
Yeah.
John when he was little.
My 4-year-old will sometimes say Adam to my husband. But she knows she's not supposed to, and she'll correct herself. But
If I don't answer to mom after a few tries, Hazel will just start calling me Chantel. She's like, clearly you didn't get the point. You're mom. Like,
That's the moment you feel like, oh my gosh, parenting so hard.
I made myself. It's my fault.
It's
that's
funny
enough
when
that I
you
made.
do things and you hear them say, "Mom, mom, mom," and someone behind you's going, "Your kid's asking for you," and you're like, "Oh,
You're like,
what?"
yeah, whatever.
I hate it
You
when
tone
it's
them
like-
out, you know. Or
when you
tune 'em out.
say yes like 5 times in between the moms,
Yeah,
and then still doing it. I'm like,
They're drowning
would
me
you
out
like
too.
to tell me there needs to be something after the continual moms?
that's right.
Mom.
It's like
What?
Oh, sometimes my son, he's 30. He just turned 30 this year, and I'll tell you what, he still likes to get. He's a mama's boy, and he still likes to get on my nerves like that. Like he'll come
course they
over,
do.
and he'll say, "Mom, mom, mom," on purpose, and it's even though I know it's on purpose, it still gets to me. It's like after a while, it's
Still
like,
irritating.
Irritating.
stop it. You what? Stop what, mom?
That totally tracks. That's yeah.
When you haven't heard it for a while and they come home and you're like, they do that, you're like, hold on a minute. I have to go back into that mode.
You're
Oh
right.
God.
I had to use mom
right, 'cause my
with
son wants to
children
act
that
like
were
a
not
baby.
mine at school.
Yeah.
Week. It was not
Yeah.
fun. There's
They want to
the
go back.
I coach Lego League at the kids' school, which is robotics with Lego. And I did not know that when I signed up. I thought we were going to be doing Lego builds. And then I had to learn that I was in fact teaching robotics and coding. So I had to figure some stuff out with that. But so anyway, so it was our final meeting because I'm, leaving pretty much for the rest of the school year. And there's these 2 boys that are just like, they're very good friends, very bad to be paired together. And so I was just like,
Give you more time.
you 2 not working together. Sorry. But it was more of a party this time. We made a robot that danced, and then they did the dance with it. It was very adorable. But
You made a robot that dance?
yes, it
You know
did.
how to do that?
I mean, I know how to follow instructions to do that.
I don't.
All right.
I don't.
Understood.
Yes.
That's funny.
I'm
I know how to
terrible at
follow the instructions to get that done.
Yes, pretty much. I showed them at the last class. We had this one thing that it was called broken, and it was built to not work. And the kids had to figure out what was wrong. And we figured out a couple of things that worked to fix it. But the rest of it, we kept trying different things, and the kids were really creative, but nothing was really actually working. So I was like,
That's
all right,
so
guys,
cool.
we'll figure it out next week. We're out of time. And I Googled it in between and found a YouTube video that explained everything. And I was like, sometimes what you have to do to figure stuff out is just Google. and we're going to follow this YouTube video, and we're going to like fix what needs to be fixed step by step, because I guarantee you most coders in the world are just better at Google than most of the other users of the internet. And
It's true.
so
It's true.
it worked just fine. We got it
I mean,
fixed. They were very
I started a
satisfied with
degree.
themselves.
I started a degree in a master's in computer science and coding. Although I really just like the math courses is what it ended up being. But yeah, you just got to be really good at Googling to figure it all out. That is the basis of that degree.
Angela wants to know how that program is, by the way.
Oh, at UIC?
Oh, is that
Or
where you
just
were at?
computer science
I
in
thought-
general?
I
Yeah.
know they have a computer
No,
science.
I wasn't at UIC. I was at UIS.
Okay.
So Springfield.
Okay.
But, you
The
know,
one who started and then got pregnant by accident.
yeah. Yeah. Well, COVID hit. And then, yeah, and then I got pregnant by accident and made a bonus child because apparently I forgot how that works.
That's
Oops.
okay. It happens to the best of us.
Now we have 3.
After
I was
9, I
very
forgot
concerned
how,
this week that we were going to have 3, and you can tell by the
Yes.
beard that I discovered that we're just going to stay at 2, thankfully. But it was a
I
harrowing
didn't learn my
week.
lesson after 9 years. Mine are 9 years apart.
Oh my god!
Oopsie.
Yeah. Oops.
Oopsie. Oh, I forgot to cut my coordinating fabric. Oh no.
My sister and I are 9 years apart.
Oh, really? Are you close?
Oh yeah. Now that we're older, I was
Yeah.
mad at her growing up because she used to steal my makeup, my clothes, and all that stuff. But
Right.
That would make sense.
she was my matron. Well, whatever underage at wedding is.
Maiden.
Uh-huh.
Matron is
Matron
older.
of honor.
It's not matron, but just like
Seriously?
you're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, matron is married, but she was 14 as my maiden of honor.
Sure.
Oh,
Aw.
That's so cute.
She couldn't sign the really.
Right. Right.
Well, that stinks.
The witnessing.
we can't see you, Jen. You're
Your cat.
I didn't
Your
realize that
cat.
there was like a age limit for that because she couldn't sign, you said.
I guess it's a legal thing though, right? Well, in some states it's legal that you have to have like the witness that isn't the pastor or whatever.
I never signed my
Official.
marriage license, but I have one, so apparently it's legal.
So when you're done with it, you can just say, I never signed that.
I didn't.
No,
Yeah.
it was-
Or like if you buy chickens and a goose, he can say no,
Yeah,
we're not
pretty-
married anymore.
something. Hopefully not. Won't happen.
in Wisconsin, you have to have an 18-year-old sign the marriage license.
Okay, there you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah, to
What do
be
you
in all the
guys
pictures
think of this being the binding for an accent fabric for this in this?
Ooh.
That's
It might
pretty.
be on the other side, but it looks great with the other one.
Well, it's mostly binding that, so
It's
you
mostly
know,
like the
you get,
dark back.
yeah, it's
Is
just
it
a
like-
little bit. Yeah, I agree. It's a little much with this, but this is on the front of
Yeah.
the bag, so I don't think it'll be so showy.
Is it a design?
What?
Is there a design? Like fish.
On this one, I mean, it's gonna. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
I think it'll
partial
be
to
fine.
I'm kind of partial to small prints and like stripes for my bindings.
Yeah. I kind of thought this had enough little stuff
Pieces.
going on in there.
Wanted something different.
Yeah,
And it's
because
small.
it does get used for some things other than that. I'm
I
gonna try
think
it, I
as
guess.
small as the binding is, it'll look fine.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of it.
There's some other pockets, I guess, that get made out of it, but it'll mostly be against the pink in that
That's perfect. then.
case. So I think it'll be fine. It's all in
You
the
know-
same colorway because it's all from that like 2014 year. It was old cotton and steel.
I have some old cotton and
Hold
steel.
on. It's good stuff. I miss the old stuff actually.
It like never, I mean, I think maybe now Ruby Star has taken off, but like we used to sell the bejesus out of cotton and steel.
I
And-
know, I was buying it too.
But then when it changed to Ruby Star, it was such a brand issue. Like people didn't get it. People didn't know unless they were like really into the quilting world. And so we just didn't get the same kind of traction with
Well,
sales. That's why we never
It
carried
didn't have the same fiber type either. Like the old cotton
yeah,
and
Moda's
steel
very
has
different.
that like natural fiber thing going on.
weighty.
And now they've started integrating that more into their style, but they kind of lost that when they changed over to a Moda
Mhm.
type where it was more smooth. They just kind of missed that grainy, and their use of these colors here that are, there was never like a white. This one does have more of a white, but
Like
they
almost
never used a
everything
bright white.
was on unbleached, and they're actually
Yes.
a trick. So sometimes you think it's white, but if you look at the selvage, it's actually unbleached and the white is dyed. So that's probably what
Yes.
you're dealing with
Mm.
there, because those whites look a little different than the whites that are on
They
a white.
do. They look almost painted when you say it like that.
They are, because it's screen print.
You know, it's like printed on.
The things you learn when you are on the
The
inside.
things you
Speaking
now you
of
know.
a difference, what do you think of those two next to each other? I've been doing them in
Here,
I
rows
can't
of-
see it.
It's fuzzy and on the side, so bring it there.
Oh, I like that together.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, because the orange is over here, so it's next to the orange.
So my advice for Scrappy is the more you put in, the less everything has to match. As long as you stick to some color
So the
family,
more scrappy, the better,
basically.
or the less scrappy, the
I
better.
have maybe 50 different types of flower fabrics that I've been using intermittently. I don't think I need more than that. You think?
My gosh. 50?
Probably you're
Yeah.
fine, I would think.
You're probably fine, although make sure that none of them read as the same in that small print. Because, you know, if I cut into this and 10 other navy fabrics that have
Oh,
similar
yeah,
things
yeah.
going onto it, it's all going to be the same, even though it's
Well,
not the same, right?
Yeah, I've
But if
been
I
doing
use
them in,
this as my only fabric and I cut each one of these out as a hexagon, for example, it's only one fabric, but it's going
Right.
to read as like 30 different fabrics.
I'm doing that with the English paper piecing project we're doing on the ship. I'm
It's
using
going to be a
one
great
fabric,
example. So
but it's like a kaleidoscope design. So I'm going to
Huh.
be able to create like a cohesive looking block that makes sense
Uh-huh.
just by using one fabric. I'm gonna have a lot of waste, but
yeah, I do a
Oh.
lot of that. These are the same fabric.
that's cool.
it's just
So
They're
cut
just
and-
cut
you
different.
kind of fussy cut it a little bit and then,
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's what the point of this kind of thing is. I do a lot of hexies, like a lot. I have an entire
Uh-huh.
box over here. You know, like just,
Right.
you know, for example, you know, if you need like to, you know, see some hexy, you know,
fabric.
several thousand hexy little flowers.
Yeah, that's what
One
mine are.
day these will be a quilt. This
They
isn't all
will
of them
be.
either.
They will be. You're,
So
you're
speak-
almost done.
Yeah, I know. There's more. I
Speaking
find
of
them
like that,
everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh,
I have been
girl.
like that of the actual 1930s before I discovered modern.
Did you do all those?
Oh, yeah.
Chantel, or were those a swap?
No, those are mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I have another project up here. So I know my English paper piecing. I just never actually have put them all together. I'm still deciding if I want to border them because they're
That's a
all
good
very,
variety.
very different.
Yeah.
So I kind of think I want to use scrappy white and do a very
A
like
low
low volume. I just haven't decided which one I want. And every time I think that I have enough, I use some of them for another project and like applicate them on.
Right. I think you said that the last time. Yeah. that
Yeah. So, you know, there's one day I'll sew them all
figured
together.
I've been taking and putting 5 together only and matching those 5 within a certain color frame. So that when I put them together, I have more an option of moving certain ones around. So like,
yeah. See, I always end up making I like the way you're doing it. I will probably do I want to do the hex on the beach or yeah, see, look at her. She has a whole bunch of them.
No, I did these on my honeymoon.
oh,
Like they've never gotten any from this. It's before I discovered the glue pen.
Well, if you'd like to donate them to my flower cause,
And they're all like the 1920s. And I have a whole box full of other coordinates.
so do you glue based or do you
now I do.
Okay.
Like this one.
Stephanie, you should make like a American Gal like miniature flower garden.
I mean,
ooh, that'd be cool.
that could be fun.
Yeah.
I currently have a hand project for my sister that I'm like was over 2 months ago.
Yeah,
So-
we had her on.
We did have her on, but I am so over it.
So over it. Bring
I'm
them
over it.
along. We'll all work on them. If
It's
my
not
hands
that
are
much work
busy,
to
I'll say something that I'm not supposed to say. So it's good for everyone.
No,
Lady.
I enjoyed it at the beginning, but I'm like, I have like 120 of these things to do, and I'm almost done. Like I've got one more set of colorways to do, and then it's good to go.
Why is there not a
Right.
cutting diagram? You know what? Sometimes I won't finish a project because there's not a cutting diagram.
I know
And
it's
there's so
frustrating.
many stupid things that I need to cut out, and trying to figure that out in my brain is so hard. And I don't own AutoCAD anymore. And I can't just make shapes and move them around and make it work. And I will look at it and be like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to do this project anymore. That's about where I am right now.
I put away a pattern the other day because they did not have the way that the seams pressed written into the pattern. And I thought, oh my gosh, I paid for this pattern. You're not going to tell me which way you want me to press my seams?
Oh, see, I
Nope.
think that's every time they do that, that stresses me out. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do with this.
Assume. They just assume, you know.
Just open it up.
No, I want them
Press
to tell
them
me
open.
there's too many. I don't know. I don't usually press open. I usually press to a side.
Sylvia wants to know what AutoCAD is.
Whoa,
It's a
AutoCAD
design
is
program.
yeah, it's a design program used for drafting. So my background's interior design and architecture. So I'm extremely versed in that program to the point where I could be drunk and hit by a car and still manage to get that homework done. All right. Like that program is in me. And basically you can make shapes and drawings. But it's very, very, very expensive to own if you don't actually use it enough. Like it's like thousands of dollars a year kind of program. So
Yeah, I would imagine updates on it and everything are ridiculous.
well, and now they make you do it annually. So I do technically have a computer that will do it, but it has Windows 2007 on it. And I'm pretty sure that I'll lose everything if I update the program and,
yeah. Well,
so we're just,
I did one of the things my friend told me not to do, and I feel bad I did it, but I suck at cutting. Really bad. And it doesn't matter if I have the right angles when I'm starting out or the right measurements.
anything.
It's crooked every time.
Then English paper piecing is your joy because you can cut it like a maniac.
Yeah. And even
as long as you base that, you're good.
Yeah.
I cut like a maniac.
So like none of these, like I cut these, I did not use a template or anything for this. You kind of just like cut a 2.5 inch square and then you kind of eyeball like a 3/8 inch seam.
Mine
and
are
then
chaotic.
put it around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long
that's
as
why
you
I like
have your
this.
quarter and seam, you're
But if
fine.
you're cutting this, it's like you have to be perfect. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I want to be fast and
And
perfect.
efficient. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I know. That's why you have to buy fabric like this and just
My
fill
other
in the
unfinished
lines.
randomness, so you can see the
Yeah.
back.
Ooh,
This one I
You know,
did.
like you said earlier, you
This
don't
one I
see
did
the
fussy
middle.
cut though. It's got it.
You don't.
you like that though.
Yeah, I do.
We got another cat walking.
On the catwalk. On the catwalk. Yeah. I saw the
That's
cat
right,
on
said
the
Fred.
catwalk.
That's who sings that.
4, 5,
Right,
6,
said
7,
Fred.
8, 9, 10,
What am I
11, 12, and a half.
I put this on right. Oh, I did not. Shame on you.
That's pretty much how this goes. Did I do it right? Nope.
I've done
You
that.
guys
Did I
were
do that
talking
right?
about the flower fabrics and stuff. It made me think of the other day when Stephanie had her interview with Cotton Cuts, and I started looking around their website. I don't know, for whatever reason, and they have a new thing that they're doing that is the flower state, something like that, where it's going to be like a monthly block of the month, and it's going to be the floral fabrics for each state, and it's kind of like historical type of thing.
Cool.
I thought that looked really neat. I think I might do that. I don't really need another block of the month this year, but you know how those things go.
I do.
I'm
It's
new
more
and I'm
attractive because
learning
it's like you
how
pay
it
for a
goes.
$300 quilt over 12 months, and that's pretty good.
I mean, I've been making those hexagons, it seems like for 2 years at least. It seems
probably
like,
have
and you know,
been.
yeah.
I have
Although
been.
I still find them in random bags and purses.
Oh, do you?
They're everywhere.
I thought I had lost some of the hand sewing things I'm doing for my sister, which is like part of a backward bundle. It'll be a pain in the butt to find. I thought I lost it during ER trip number 2. And I located them in my younger daughter's ballet bag, which I remember putting in there the last time I took her to ballet and brought those with. So I'm like, you know, it's like the things that just leave your brain. But I was very relieved when I located them, because this is not something I want to redo and source fabric for. And like,
Where is
need a
Stephanie
specific
Brennan?
amount. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
that's what I want to know.
she might. Her husband works second shift, so she's like full on kid duty for bedtime.
Oh,
So it might
yeah.
not be going really well tonight.
Ooh.
Well, we know those nights.
Can we
huh?
prank call her online here?
I mean,
Ooh.
we could if I knew where my cell phone was.
I remember my son wouldn't go to sleep. I'd have to literally put him in the car seat and go around the block about 50 times.
Oh goodness.
Apparently that was me as a kid.
You
Mom
know?
never really forgave me for that.
It turns out that his just mind wouldn't shut off. You know,
Me either.
I still have that problem.
Still doesn't.
I do
They have
too.
medication for that now.
Yeah, I know.
That was me last week. I was nephew sitting and he's 5. And mom forgot the melatonin.
Oh,
Melatonin is like, if my husband and I
What,
want
12:30?
any type of just time with each other, that is a necessary evil before the kids go to bed.
Well, it was 12:30 and I sent his mom, my sister, a message and said, next time if you don't bring the melatonin, I'm not taking him.
I'm not doing it ever again. That's funny.
My younger daughter's funny because she doesn't know what it is. She just knows she gets her
Her vitamin.
day vitamin,
Her
or
vitamin.
C vitamin.
Yeah.
And so she likes to have 3 because it's like eating a fruit, gummy.
Mhm.
And the other day he gave her 2. She goes, "Can I have the third gummy?" Like she doesn't know what it is. Okay, we actually go to bed.
Well, I give Penny fiber gummies because she just tends to have like those kind of issues. And but she always cries that she wants more. And I'm like, I literally cannot give you more. Like it's going to be a explosion.
That would not be
Like if yeah, right. Like we don't need any pooplosion situations going on here.
So
Like-
I always stick Farron's fiber gummy or his probiotic gummy in with some fruit snacks.
Yep.
And then that way,
Even
you
though
know,
they're taking it.
he's getting
Whoa.
10 or 12 of them because it's a little bag of
Where'd
fruit
my
snacks.
dog go? My dog disappeared.
Good night, ladies.
You feel
Oh,
unloved.
he moved to the
Good
sofa.
night. Thanks for joining us.
Good
I'll see you
night.
next week.
Remember, next week we're not totally sure on time.
Right.
Once
we're
we
gonna be
figure it out,
somewhere.
we'll get like a thing up, so that way you guys know like when to.
I'll
expect.
be there to bother her and be like, put the thing up, put the thing up, put the
I
thing
know,
up.
right? It
You
will.
guys have a
And
great
she's like,
time.
I know, right? She's
The
ready
biggest
for it.
thing is that I will not be spending 30 hours of my week solo parenting children and carting
Sure,
them.
you're gonna be solo parenting me.
I think you're capable of handling yourself.
I think I'm capable.
I think
I
so.
think we'll be having fun. That's the only reason we would end up missing is
So
we forgot. And
like-
the time change is weird.
it is. Yeah, it's gonna probably be like a different hour every day.
It might even be a different day for us. Who knows?
It's weird, yeah. But I was thinking we should do vlogs while we're on there. And I think we need to start off vlog number 1 with all the things that we're going to enjoy. Like how we love
Like
our children
I pooped
dearly.
by myself.
But yeah, I get to poop by myself. I get to sleep in a bed without any other small creatures.
I'll crawl in. Mom, mom, mom.
I don't
so that
have
you
to
feel
wipe
at home.
anybody's butt but my own all week.
I'll,
What a
I'll hold you
joy.
to that.
See Chantel's face. She's like, well, oh my dear.
All privileges
I'm
in
sure
life.
there's somebody. It's a big cruise ship. Somebody will let you if you feel the need.
I do not feel the need at all. I was checking in today, finally, because Chantel reminded me to do it. And I texted Ray, who is like basically my main contact. Ray and John, they're partners.
But they're fun. They're
But
really
they are
they're
fun.
gonna be fun.
He's like, let's get drinks. And I'm like, okay, we'll get drinks. But so anyway, he was saying something. And it like only gave me one check-in time. And I was like, hey, is this Sprite? And he's like, oh dear Stephanie, as it said in all the emails that went out,
Every single meeting that we've
you are
had.
to take whatever time they give you for the check-in.
Well,
Yeah.
the funny thing is that he's like, you're the person that
I'm the
didn't check
one.
in yet.
I know. Right? And
Like,
then he's
really?
We have been waiting on you.
and I had to pay for an express delivery of my passport. I think I nearly gave Ray a heart attack when I let that slip. And I have it. We're good. I'm going on the trip. But like,
funny.
oh my goodness.
I
It
mean,
was so funny.
Although when we get to Boston, I'm waving you goodbye. I got
I know.
international like pass through of
All the
all
things.
the stuff. Yeah. I'll meet you on the other side with a
I know,
burger.
we'll
or
hang
something.
out. We'll do our surgery on Kirsten at some point.
Yep.
It
Ugh.
was officially cut.
so
all
is
of
the
my
cruise
fees.
fairly expensive or?
This one is because it's
This
for
one
so
is because we're
long.
going overseas, like way overseas.
Right. I figured that, but I
I'm
I
not
don't know what that.
supposed to officially say anything, but
We're
yours
hoping we have another.
is probably
and
going to
that-
be teaching on one to Alaska next year. The details
Really?
are still being worked out,
Okay.
but yeah, is Chantel telling me to shut my mouth? Or can
Kind of, but I'm also excited. Like I like cold weather. Look at my Antarctica shirt. Like, can
I'm
we
not
do one in
supposed
the
to
I
Antarctica?
know, I saw
anything.
that.
but like
Nobody's gonna make it this far in, and if you did, wow, spoiler.
then
don't
you're
tell
probably
Ray.
gonna join so it's all good.
I'll be there.
Books on tape work for you. Yes, I listen to so many audiobooks. I
Me too.
read
That's
to the
how I
children
read.
every night. I know I read to the children every night. I read
Andrew,
so many kids' books, but books for me are really hard to get through. And good night, Sylvia.
Absolutely.
I have
How
one
old
cat.
is your EPP? Sylvia has a very long EPP. Mine is at least 15 years. No, probably 14. Probably 14.
Oh my
I
gosh,
started it
that is really
around the
long.
time I got married. The passport
Mine's
process is
2.
not difficult. There actually is a website that you go to on United States. I don't remember it, but it's wherever the office.
Department of Transportation and blah blah, something like
Yeah,
that.
whatever it
And
is, that's-
international affairs, or it sounds important. It's
But
probably the
basically
right
you
place.
fill out all your stuff, your information on there, and then it prints the sheet out with everything filled in for you. So you just have to sign
And you
it.
take it to the post office after
You
you
have to
make an
create
appointment.
an appointment for the post office. And that can be a pain in the butt because my guy canceled on me and I was like, I really need to have this out. So I kind of threw
Just
myself.
start it 6 months in advance.
It did.
That's-
I did not need to make it as difficult as I did on myself.
I
But
do that a lot. I make
but
it more difficult than it really is.
oh yeah. But it's only $60 to express it if you're like me and procrastinated too much. But
Are you talking about passport?
passport, yeah. If you need it in like
I
3 weeks,
have
you just pay $60 and you can get it too.
Yeah.
It's faster to renew.
It's a lot faster to renew. But if your name changes, you don't get to renew. Ask me how I know.
The other thing, what's the other thing? I think the route we're choosing is through a Canadian port. I don't remember. There were lots of options. So you might still need one. Or do you need a passport for Canada? Does a
Yeah.
driver's license work?
I'm
Yes.
a Canadian citizen and American,
Well, there you go. You don't need one. You're good.
but I do have a passport, and it's good for 2 more years. So
Then you're good. You can join us.
I think that they've made it now though that you do. Because I don't know.
You
I would
can.
just
Yeah.
get it and be over with it. Because one
Yeah.
day you'll need it and you won't have it.
yeah,
um
It doesn't hurt.
But
And I would
I
also
have a
go through the
working-
process of getting the global or whatever, because that thing is so easy. I just go right through security. I get right to the front of the line.
yeah,
I walk
the
through.
TSA.
When I do customs, I go
Uh-huh.
up there. I scan my face. They let me in.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
It is definitely worth
But we
it
knew
if
we
you
had, I
travel.
had 2 international trips this year. So I went through the business, and you do have to pay like a certain amount of money for them to do the background check. And
Isn't it like
Yeah.
$200?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember what it was actually.
I think we
I
paid
think mine was a
100
little
and
over
something
200 because I paid the express fee.
Yeah.
for
but
your for
for
the
my passport.
passport.
yeah.
I don't remember how much the global entry thing was though. Sometimes
thing
I
that I
just close
thought was
my eyes and click
hilarious-
the button.
So like you have to know, it's funny, they'd phrase it as most recent spouse. So if you are divorced
Wow.
and are currently with them, you need to know like information about them and like birth
I
city.
like that.
And this was funny. So I texted my husband and I was like, hey, what was your birth city? And he told me, and he's from Champaign Urbana. So I knew it was going to be one of the two. And he was taking a while to get back to me. So I also texted his mother, and I can't remember which one it was, but my husband was wrong. And he goes,
He was wrong.
my husband was wrong. He thought it was one city and it was the other. And he's like, is my mom sure? And I'm like, she did give birth to you. I think she would probably. But it was just
Yeah,
so
you were
funny that,
there,
like,
but she remembers.
I had to like go to my mother-in-law in order to get that information because my husband did not know it, which does not.
I feel like that's
bullshit.
just husbands.
I know, right?
That's baseline.
They would fall apart without us.
They would.
Oh,
That's why they can't get rid of us.
yeah.
Plus, they might have to face their emotions if we weren't there.
Yeah, I know somebody who
Okay, so I have a really stupid quilting question.
no such thing.
No stupid.
Yeah.
I need one-on-one with free motion quilting.
We have actually a course.
Like-
Go to academy.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. There's like a 28 lesson thing on free motion quilting. It's
You know, the best way to learn too is to do something like that and then just to like make practice sandwiches
Mhm.
and like
That's what I'm doing
eat
right
them
now.
alive. Eat them alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your machine
think-
will eat them alive too if you're not
Uh-huh.
careful.
But what
So-
is your specific
Oh.
question? Quilting, free motion quilting.
No, it was just because you go on YouTube and you find the free motion quilting videos and they make it look so easy because they've been doing
I
it
know.
for so long
Ever,
that
yeah.
when you actually sit down to do it, it's like maybe I should just hand quilt it.
So the
You have
way
one of
I'm gonna-
It takes time.
You
It's
have one of them
taking
with,
me
like
a
the
lot of
free
time.
motion feet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to have a hopper foot.
Yep, I have that on the machine. I drop my feet. It's
Yeah.
I know
So-
it's
Oh.
practice.
You're gonna have
It's
to play with
just-
some tension stuff because the likelihood is that you're gonna get eyelashes on the top or the bottom when
Oh,
you
yeah.
start.
It's on the
And
bottom.
then the main thing is figuring out what your speed is and working with that.
Yeah.
And what Angela
Well-
Walter has always said is you want to go fast enough that you're not thinking too hard, but like slow enough that you're not out of control and gonna eat your finger,
Right.
which I always thought was very good advice, actually.
Well,
Are you
one of my
using-
problems
Are you
is I
using-
don't use
Flag.
okay. No, one of my problems is that I don't use my foot pedal. I use my start stop button, and
Don't
there's
do
no
that.
start stop button anymore.
don't do that.
Well,
And
you can use your start
machine-
stop as long as you actually put it down
it.
in speed.
Right.
so
I
do you
always wondered how
realize-
people live that life with the start stop button. I don't think I
I've
could
watched
do it.
them do it. It doesn't end well.
Well, I was going to ask if you had a machine that has like that regulating type stitch or something, because when I was practicing on one of those at the shop, going from my vintage machine to that, I really struggled with the stitch regulator.
See, I don't
I
like the
have a
stitch
brother-
regulator on my sit downs.
I don't do that. What I do though is I have a machine that has 3 speed controls, and I always put mine in the middle because then I can put the pedal all the way down and still maintain like a good stitch
Yeah.
at the speed that
Yeah,
I
the
need.
not eat your fingers speed.
Right.
When you
And
get
that's why the
started
stitch
though, you might
regulator
want
was
it even slower
for
than
me.
that.
You basically wanted to go chit 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 when you're starting and you're like moving it around. You'll get to the point where you get to the
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
wanna
sorry, French horn
listen
player there. Look
as
at that
much as
tonguing.
you're- Sorry, you want to listen as much as you're watching. Because you have to listen to make sure you're
Yes.
steady.
I always have an ear off so that because I was doing this earlier today and then I cut it all up and I cut it the wrong size. But that's taking me a lot of time to like learn how to do that. I also took a course with String and Story, their free motion quilting course.
Mhm.
It was really good. But the basic thing you need to know is that you just need to make a lot of sandwiches
Right.
and
And just practice.
and start
Oh,
with a meander.
I tried the whole
And
ruler
drawing.
thing.
You got to draw a lot. I've
Yeah.
drawn entire notebooks full of drawings without picking up my pencil because that's the mental memory that you need to get. And then like Stephanie's course will teach you how to use just a few motifs and you'll be able to make a ton
right.
of different
So, in my course,
things.
and you can get these still on Amazon. And I think I have links to the products in the supply list.
Do you
But
not sell them on your website still?
we don't sell anything.
Oh, Bill, I have the camera
Anymore.
on. Hold on.
Um
I'll be right
that's-
back.
You're fine.
Okay.
We have some patterns, some books, but most of it's digital. I'm not really doing a lot of shipping because it's
Oh,
best
and
for
this
my life.
course is not digital.
It is digital. But the
Courses, but the item.
stencils are not. So what we do is there's 4 different stencils, one for all over meander, which is a really common one that people start with, a swirl, a wavy line, and I gotta think of the last one, a loop.
Or a loop.
And so you learn the muscle memory by following the stencil. It's like a chalk applicator, and there's instructions on how to use it in the videos. So you can see how all of that works. And basically it creates a chalk outline on your project, and then you just have to follow it. And you can do that as many times as you need to get the muscle memory down. And then we have additional lessons for each one, at least 3 for each one, where we play with scale, we play with just mixing it up and doing it a little bit different way. And sometimes you're doing it like within like a block that's drawn out, so you're not actually piecing anything. And it's designed to be done on your long arm or your home sewing machine. So there's a pattern that comes with it. I think the pattern is paid, but it's a digital download. And then when you're done, you have the stack of sandwiches that are all ready to just get put together. And there's a lesson on
Like
how
a quilt as you go.
and assemble it that
Right.
way. So that way you can get it, you can, practice all the things, and then you have something tangible at the end of it as opposed to a stack of randomness. And it also is like a nice little sampler block so you can go back and look. Because what I do mostly in my quilting is like those 4 stitches in just different ways, again and again and again. And each segment ends with a show and tell, where I show how I've used and manipulated that stitch, and sometimes integrated it with others that you learn in the course, or ruler work, which is another course that we have. And then
That course is helpful, like really helpful.
and then that's a good way to get it down, figure out what you're doing. But Dee says she watched a video the other day where they taped a pen to the machine and put paper under the machine to practice muscle memory designs. That's a good idea
moving
too.
it. Yeah.
You can actually stitch through paper. You are not going to want to use that needle for anything else when you're done. But if you don't want to use a ton of fabric, that's a good way to kind of practice it as well.
Well, I tried a ruler.
That's
The first
actually a
time I
good
tried
idea.
it, I went right through the ruler.
Did you
Yeah.
have a quilt tape ruler and a ruler foot?
Yeah, it was a meander, and there were a lot of corners, and it was the first time I tried it, and I was like, okay, we're not going to do that right now.
Oh, you use one of those meander rulers to kind
yeah,
of.
Yeah.
no.
2
This is
seconds,
best
so
for
just
like
tell me.
straight line and like curves, like slight curves. I've
Oh,
seen
well,
I haven't ever
okay.
Oh
tried
no,
one.
this one has big old
I have seen them. I'm intrigued by them.
But that's a good skill to be able to have. If you're going to be free motioning, you want to be able to do a basic meander so that you understand how to get those curves without speeding up or slowing down too much. Because you're the regulator. I'll quilt on my Bernina and I won't use the regulator because that sound of it changing speed makes me
think you need
you get used to the rhythm of it and like moving to the rhythm of it.
Yeah, that thing messed me up when I was practicing on that
Yeah.
at my local quilt shop. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's so much different using the stitch regulator than doing free motion on my vintage machines, where I can just set it to like Stephanie said, that medium setting.
Yeah, I've never.
I had somebody at QuiltCon think I was insane because I was testing out one of their machines that had a built-in regulator. It was a sit-down, like mid-arm kind. So you have the machine sitting in front of you. And it was like, how do you turn off the regulator? And they're like, well, that's the point. It has a regulator. And I said, yeah, no, the point is that I don't like the regulator. So like, how do you turn that? They didn't even know. I figured it out, but oh my God, is that what you put your... Maybe that's better for tracing.
I took a
that's funny.
Angela Walters back in the day on Craftsy when Craftsy was first like a thing. And she said on
I have a Craftsy membership, by the way, and I get like 2 or 3 friends on there. So Gwendolyn and Steph, you're in because you're my buddies.
But
is that worth it?
You know what? I got it free through my T-Mobile, and I've been having fun with it. So
I can't wait.
They'll give it to you for the first year for like a couple bucks.
For some stuff in the future. Like I've got a sponsored video contract with them. I just need to this is the story of my life.
Really?
A damn video. Yeah.
Like here's my intern, Chantal Irish from It's So Freaking Awesome.
So I wanted
Would you like to follow her?
I want to do a really good one. Like that's going to get a lot of hits. And I know that if I do like a sewing room organization video, that will be it. But this is the state of my sewing room right now. I cannot in good faith.
You can't do the video. Yeah.
It's hard to keep it clean. Like,
I like to work
not
on
clean,
one
but
project
I-
at a time, and then I can keep it clean because I do a cleanup in between. But when I don't do that,
Mhm.
I have no hope.
That's the story of my life. I'm just doing too many projects at once. That's why I can't keep it clean.
It
Yeah.
got bad when I was doing the book because I was doing like 6 projects at once. And then it stayed bad when I decided I was going to cut a bajillion pairs of flannel pajama pants that I still haven't finished. And they were supposed to be Christmas presents. And
You just need to make the pants stuff. You just got to make them so that you can
Yeah.
get over it.
I do need, well, I need, because I feel like,
Stephanie, your mic's just a little bit muted. Like it's a little bit muffled. Sorry, muffled, not
Yeah.
muted.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Okay, it's just on my computer, but I don't know. I literally am. I have this conversation with my husband all the time. I'm like, you get to work until your job is done, and then you come home and it's just house, whatever needs to be done in the house, and rest and relax. I work until it's time to get the kids, and then I often still have stuff to do when I'm done. And I have the kids solo for probably 30 hours a week on a normal week. Sometimes it's way more than that. And then we typically trade off who does bedtime. And so that's like the rest of your night for half of the weeks or half of the weeknights. And it's just, it's a lot.
Yeah. Mommy never ends.
No, it doesn't.
Never.
And so I just
Even when they grow up and leave the
Only
house.
on Fridays it
never
does
ends.
for me.
I
My
know.
daughter's 40. She's still a child.
I think my
There you
mother
go.
said about me.
Here.
Text me today to
Ah.
like check in on things. And I'm just like, I am a fully functioning adult. Thank you.
Although
I
sometimes
mean,
I
mostly, unless I'm suffering, then come save me.
I know, right?
I act more like a child sometimes than my children do.
I agree.
Well, I call my husband child. So, you know,
You know this.
I call my husband Ogre.
you
Ogre?
do. She does. I call mine a modern Neanderthal, and she's like, I call mine an ogre, and I was like, oh, like Shrek.
Exactly.
She's like, yep, like Shrek.
Shrek is cute.
That's right.
He's so ugly, he's cute.
No, my husband's not ugly. My husband's good looking.
No, let's just talk about ogres in general. I'm sure
Even
No,
you
Shrek was cute
that's
for
how
an
it came
ugly
up.
ogre.
That's how it came up, is when Shrek came out. I started calling him Ogre. I thought it was funny.
So my super
A little
confidence
rough around the edges. That's all.
went to how my husband is in the best shape of his life and I'm in the worst of mine. And Chantel and I are supposed to start walking before our cruise. I feel like we need to start this tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. We start
Sunday,
tomorrow.
Saturday.
Because on Sunday we go roller skating.
That counts. That'll count for a physical activity.
Totally. I might even count for 2 days, depending on how much skating I do.
I am digging out a flower bed and removing sod by hand. That's gonna
That
count.
counts.
That's gonna count. That's my exercise tomorrow.
I walked to
And
garage
Sunday-
sales the other day.
You know, you want to rollerblade. I am very scared of busting my shit and then not being able to go on the cruise.
Oh man. Well, I mean, the last time
One
I
of the
went
water
skating, I broke
things.
my elbow,
What I need.
and my knee's never been the same. So
I hear you.
Chantel, you should have looked into the roller derby.
oh no, see, I'm not a hater. I can't hit
No,
people.
no, roller derbies, they're not haters. They're fun. We did my daughter's birthday party.
I'm a sissy. How about that? I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
get hit. I want to hit, but not get hit. And that doesn't really work well,
I hear you.
you know? Yeah.
But it's
I
a
remember-
good time. Those ladies are hilarious and fun.
Oh no, they're fun.
We did my daughter's birthday party there when she was a teenager at the roller derby up in Raleigh. And oh my gosh, it was one of the best parties that I ever had for her. I highly recommend it. When your girls get just a little bit older, do one of their parties at the roller derby rink. It's very cool.
What do I do now with bias binding?
Which side's the stretchy side?
Well, I'm at the point where I got it cut diagonally and then I put it
Yeah.
together.
That's correct.
And
But
now-
what side is stretchy for
This
you?
is the bias.
So you want to draw your lines on the wrong side along the bias,
Okay.
the part that has to stretch. It should be just a little bit longer. Was it a fat quarter?
No, that
Usually
doesn't seem right.
we're
Did I sew it on the wrong side, maybe?
one side should not look like a rectangle. If it came from, was it a square to start with or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think I got it right, actually.
Okay.
No, I got
whatever-
that part right.
just kind of pull on it, and whichever side is stretchy, that's the part where the lines need to be parallel, going across the stretchy part. I was gonna
Okay.
try and find this for you, but I have to sign in, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pay for a subscription to an article I wrote. But back when I was an entertainment reporter, I used to have to go do random crap as part of the promotion of the story. And I ended up participating in a roller derby practice and fell on my butt so hard that I bounced. And the video editor at the time did a slowdown of it, of the bounce. And so there's video of me on the internet bouncing on my tuchus in
Oh,
roller.
that's hilarious. You should post that as a short.
But I don't think I have rights to it.
That would
But
be so fun.
it
It would
exists.
totally go viral.
It exists. You just need to pay $1 for 3 months. Creative Cat says she just got a bob and winder and it's great. Sylvia's walking 4 to 5
Oh my
miles
gosh,
a day.
I just got a bob and winder too. What kind did she get? I'm
Okay.
so
There's
curious.
a delay there, so she will hear your question in a minute.
Ginger.
Lost
I
my
got
phone.
a,
Bob and winder for my long arm, but I literally never use.
I got a
Oh,
cheap
see, I wind all the bobbins for it. I think of you
Well, I
every
buy
time
mine
about how
free
you
now.
don't.
I just got a cheap one. A Singer. I just got a cheap Singer. I haven't even used it yet, so I don't even know if it's any good. But I just needed something.
Isn't there something you can do though for this where you connect it all together and then you cut it?
You have to draw your lines first, though.
Okay.
That's step 1.
Step 1.
I have a tutorial about this somewhere, but I'll talk to you.
Yeah, that's why I just asked you.
Yeah.
Because I knew you would know.
I know, I've done this a million times.
Where
Are you
is
trying
my
to do
pen?
the binding that like
Continuous binding. Continuous bias binding.
spirals like through it?
Yeah.
What happens after you draw your lines, you offset them. And then that's when the spiral happens. Because if you match them exactly to each other, you just cut rings off, and that defeats the purpose.
2 1/4.
Where is
I
that?
just don't understand how they're going to connect, but
It
we're
will
getting it.
make sense once you do it. Until you do it, it will not make sense.
Okie dokie.
I promise you this.
I will drink the Kool-Aid.
Just drink it. It's okay.
Just drink the Kool-Aid, she says.
I've never tried that type of binding, doing it that way. It's supposed to be really good if you only have a small cut of fabric.
They're fabulous.
Well, it's great for bags because I gotta go around some weird curves.
Oh, what am I cutting? This is probably not a great thing.
Holy,
Talking to all of you.
it's okay, boy.
So far, I've been correct. I've just not gone at my normal speed.
No.
If that bothers anybody, let me know. I can always mute.
Oh, I think it's
I
cute.
do not hear the cat.
Okay. He's whining. He wants outside.
Children and dogs. That's fine. It's not calling mom, so we're fine.
Now that'd be a different story. I'd be calling you, mute your
Be like,
phone.
get out of here. You're done. You've been kicked off the island.
Yeah,
Time out.
my older daughter lost her cell phone for a week because of tonight's incident. So you're not making me ground you or take things away. It's fine.
I'm gonna take your cell phone away because your cat's meowing.
She doesn't even use it as a cell phone. I got it after the shooting at a 4th of July parade in the suburbs of Chicago because that exact same day Angela's in a parade. And it was terrifying to me because I was like, if something would have happened, I would have had no way to contact her directly, which I was not comfortable with. And it was not that long after the Uvalde shooting. And I was like, all right, you're getting a phone for emergencies. And she uses it mostly to listen to Audible, which is her favorite thing before bed. So this is a very like big punishment where she can't even have her stories before bed. So she knows mom's serious.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got our daughter a phone right after we had a tornado and it shut down like all the roads, and she was at church and I couldn't get a
Oh.
hold of her. And so all of the roads to the church were shut down because the tornado had, flooded and knocked over stuff. And so we didn't have contact with her for like 3 or 4 hours. And after
That's
that, I was
terrifying.
like, nope. The way I wound up being able to at least let her know is I posted on my Facebook. And so the gal that was the church teacher for her, because it wasn't like a normal, it's like a girls kind of event.
Yeah.
And the gal who was running it, so she saw it, so she knew we were trying to get there and stuff.
I was
But
supposed
yeah,
to do it like
scary.
diagonally,
That's
wasn't I?
scary.
Well, we're stretching.
This is stretchy. This is stretchy.
Well, it shouldn't be. Hang on. Stretch like that. Hold it. No, not like that. Try. You're too high up. Come down. Is that part the bias when you pull?
Yeah, it's stretchier. I mean, this is technically the big bias.
Okay. Now pull the other way. That's your big bias. So you want it to be parallel to that bias when you're writing,
Oh.
when you're drawing. Remove
Sorry.
the other ones so you do not confuse yourself later. I would highly recommend it. Let me-
Okay.
How I figured that out.
Eh,
All right, what am I doing now? Oh, I have to think. I need 2 7/8 in strips. I don't like thinking.
I don't either. It's hard.
I can hear my husband playing records upstairs now.
So on the cruise, is it like the entire cruise quilting, or is it just
No, it's
okay?
like I
So
think
it's
there's
not
like maybe
Well, we have daily courses for the most part, but there,
there's a bunch of people on the boat that have nothing to do with us.
okay.
So there's plenty of other things. Like there's entertainment every night and obviously short.
So what are the non-quilting things that you guys are looking forward to doing?
Sleeping.
food.
Small creatures in my bed. Yeah, food. What else?
Swimming,
There's supposed to be entertainment every
the
night.
bar.
Yeah, we can do that without. I mean, I don't want to go too heavily on the bar the night before I'm supposed to teach, but
But the rest of the nights are okay for stuff. You hear that?
yes. So, Ray and John, who put everything together, they're like the travel,
Gurus. Let's see.
that's what they call themselves. But they're basically the travel agents. And so they made sure in the pricing that it's basically almost all inclusive. So like any laundry services you need on the trip, like that would be extra. But like there's a drink package, anything up to $10 is included, including gratuities.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And it
So
also includes things like coffee drinks, you know,
you
and
pay for every single, soda you have on a trip. So
That's great.
otherwise.
but
and
not
I'm
on this
sure
because it's all covered and
Yeah. So you don't have to be like, oh my God, I thought the cruise was this price and now it's really a lot more than that.
they set it up so that it is what it is.
Yeah. And you can do extra stuff. Like apparently there's some restaurants that are more higher end. Of course, there's like duty-free shops. There's a casino on board. And there are drinks that cost more than $10, but and like if like say I wanted to drink like a protein shake, I like to have a protein shake for breakfast. And that's not under $10. But you only pay the portion above that. So if it's like $12, I would owe $2, not
Oh,
$12.
that's nothing.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're ordering really high shelf liquors all the time, it would add up. But, one protein shake a day is not gonna.
No.
You can have as many $10 drinks as you can handle. And that's fine. You just, anything over 10 is not included.
Do they have any like celebrities that are non-quilting celebrities, like singer?
No idea. I know they have entertainment every single night. That's really good. They have.
Well, we don't know who it is or what.
Yeah, I've not looked into it. I do not care. I
have, and I don't know. So,
but they have a bunch of lounges. They've got indoor pools. So like if you don't have to go outside to get to anywhere if you don't want to. So if it's like a crappy day or it's cold, you can just, walk yourself down to the pool and enjoy yourself there for a while. And because it's supposed to be like in the 50s-ish when we're there. But
is it?
I think it is. I think it's supposed to be in the 50s once we get closer to England, 50s, 60s.
So how long are you actually out at sea? Where between land and land?
Land and land 7 days.
You're
But
7
then
days.
it's an additional like 3 or 4 days, and then we're at land. But it's like a 14-day thing. 13.
13,
So you have 7 days with no land out at sea.
land. No land.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
got ear patches for motion sickness.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so that I don't barf
Yeah.
everywhere. And it's I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it.
What level are you on?
I have no idea.
We're on 3. Don't worry, I got the
Chantel
details.
knows a lot more about this than I.
Yeah. Although she has all the details about what is actually going on with the courses, and I'm like, I don't know.
Turn the video
She was
off.
calling me
All I
today.
know
She's
is I'm
like,
the
"What do you
first
do
one to
for this?"
teach.
And I was
So,
like,
I want to get back into the conversation. What's
I don't
going
think
on?
you realize how much I wing stuff. And as
I'm
long as you
learning.
wing it
Cool.
confidently,
Mhm.
nobody can tell.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Some people are good at winging things, and other people have to have them planned out way, way, way advanced, every single little detail, like me.
Me, I
I
like to
think
just
I
go.
plan things so that I can feel like I have my shit together. But I don't.
If
I
I
will
plan
wait
things, I'd be
my shit
packing
together
up my whole house.
Tuesday at 8 o'clock at night. That's what I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll bring this thing. Although I do need to figure out what laundry needs to be done. But like,
Sorry, going in and
Yeah,
out of
like,
half family.
silly things like how many pairs of underpants do I actually have that I feel like actually wearing for the whole day?
I had to buy underwear for the trip.
I probably will need to. You know how as women we have like the comfy underwear and then we have the like, I only wear this.
The underwear, the
wear it.
panties.
Well, it's like this is for when I'm dressed up formally only because it's not
Yeah.
like I could never sleep in this. And
Hey, I did it.
yay!
Yay!
All right, so you have everything all together, right?
Yep. And now
Or
like cut
sewed it.
in a circle, cut in a circle.
And you have one end sticking out, right?
Yep, 2.
Perfect.
Whoa.
Will
Yeah.
be continuous for you.
Yay. Swing your partner round and round. Don't cut
I
through
will
the other
not tell
side on
you that
accident.
you'll remember the second time you do this because you won't. Once you do it like 3 times, it's in your head.
Oh no, I think actually I have it in my head now because I've it was just which side is connecting to which side. That was the confusing thing to me.
The biggest thing
But
is
once you
like,
said the stretchy side
It is
is the
stretchy.
side you follow for the lines.
Yeah.
That made sense. So
I've taught this multiple times.
oops. I may have just botched that one, but that's okay.
That's okay. You'll have leeway.
Not that much. Whatever.
It's very fudgeable.
Going that one? Talking to myself, sorry.
You're
Okay.
fine. I'm staring at my like fabric that I was supposed to make garments out of and thinking, can I do what I need to do for work and handle my kid's birthday, including baking a giant cake that's Wednesday themed. Hey Barbara, I saw you tried to join. Let me come back over here. I'm not seeing you comment over on YouTube. So, Barbara, if you would like to join, you have to answer a question. So we know you're a quilter. What question should we give her?
What are the ingredients of the quilt sandwich?
There we go.
What is HQT stand for?
I know that one.
So if you answer correctly over on the YouTube comment section, we will let you in.
And tell us your favorite block.
Wow, you guys are hard.
Because the people that come in at midnight are normally
It's spam. It is midnight, isn't it? How did that happen?
I don't know.
Midnight. I've only barely cut this quilt. But I'm basically like, how much can I actually accomplish? And then maybe sew something too. And I fully intend to use my serger. But muslins are needed. So
Okay, I am puzzled here. I am puzzled. I don't know what is off because all my measurements are coming up right. But in this this flying goose, my seam allowance is more than 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so right. So here's my goose, right? The middle one. And then this is my 2 on the sides. But that seam allowance right there, it is more than 1/4 of an inch.
How much more?
Like a lot. It's like a whole 16th.
Oh, fudge that.
Yeah,
Well,
you can fudge that. When
Wait,
you
hold
go
on,
to
I'm
put it together, you'll just kind of
Well, but this is it's supposed to be 3 inches from here to here, right? It's 3 inches from here to here. Up against my ruler, my flying goose is perfect. My seam allowances are perfect here. From here to here, it's exactly 5 inches like it's supposed to be. I can't figure out why it is a whole. It's an 1/8, not a 16th. It's an 1/8.
oh, that's not too bad.
Anything an 1/8 of an inch or less, you can fudge it and you won't be able to tell when everything's said and done.
Even though it'll make it smaller?
No, because when just that one little bit. So when you like fit it into everything else, it'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll not be able to tell.
I don't know why I did that though. I haven't had that happen before. The rest of them have come out perfect, and I'm like on block 20.
Sometimes I'll mark that one, that
I don't
specific
know.
one that I thought I might have trouble with, and then use it where I think it might fit in the best.
Okay.
That's just what I've done. And sometimes something might come up short, something might come up a little bit, and you can work it in. But
okay,
I'm new at this, so
well, I'll mark it for
a lot. And I'm technically a professional at this, and you cannot tell by looking at my points at all, because I use a 2-penny method. What I do is I put my pins in right where the points are, like at the tip of them, and then I push that so it's going like this through my fabric, and then I take a second pin, and that's what I pin through with. And so then you know your points are on top of each other, and you hit right where the point is when you're sewing.
So recently, I had watched a video and a gal had given a really good pointer about when you pin next to your points and stuff, pin crossways like that. And I thought, oh, I wonder why I haven't been doing that, because when I Stephanie B, if she was here, she would totally relate. When I sew garments or any type of clothing at all, I always do at my darts and
Parallel.
all of my important parts to connect the patterns, I pin like that to make them. So I don't know why I wasn't doing it with my quilting. And when I started doing it with my quilting, oh my gosh, it was like,
Yeah.
yes, my seams did not move when I was sewing, and I loved it. And I was like, I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier.
I have
Wait,
seen
how do you
people
pin it?
So
So
just
instead of
across the point.
So on a seam, okay, where you have a seam like this,
Mhm.
right? And and it comes together, where you have two pieces nesting, or if you have two open right there.
Yeah.
Instead of pinning straight, like this, okay, instead of pinning straight like that, you make an X with your pin. You go in one side to the seam, and if you do two pins,
I don't do that.
Okay.
I do use two
like
pins.
that.
One to make sure the points are right on top of each other, and another to pin
Yes.
across it while that
And
pin
that's
is
what
split.
that's
And
what
that
I was
works
doing.
9 out of
quilting.
10 times for me.
Yeah, and I never really had a problem with doing it that way. I'm usually pretty accurate with it, but sometimes that seam will just move just slightly under the machine, under with the feed dogs will grab it, whatever, and the pin will just move it slightly. And so when I saw that and she suggested that, and I thought, well, why am I not doing this with my quilting? I've always did it with my garments. And so I started doing it with my quilting, and oh my gosh, it works so lovely and I love it. So I really got a lot out of that tip.
I have not done that, but it is interesting.
Try it.
But I've seen people pin in all kinds of places that they shouldn't, and then things
Right.
don't line up because they're not actually pinning where, like, you're going to be sewing. Like, you can have
Yeah.
everything lined up perfect, but if you're not pinning across where you're going to sew, then it's going to move by the time you get to
Right.
it.
Yep.
Okay. Some of this is really like botchy, so we're just hoping that it works out.
I promise you it'll be fine. It's going to be
I mean,
hidden
it'll get
underneath
hidden.
And because it's on the bias, you'll have a lot of give.
like, is that
Yeah.
your flip open? I can't tell so much with the light.
Did Barbara come back?
How's your tension?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Um,
ask.
The tension is really good on the top.
Hey, come closer. We didn't hear you.
I was probably going to. Oh, hang on.
There we go. I can hear you there.
I was probably going too fast. It's nice on the front. I mean, it's better than I've ever done before.
Hey.
It's nice on the front. What are you seeing on the back? Are you seeing like where the thread looks like it's flat? On the back?
It's the eyelashes around the
Here, come
corner.
sit down in front of the camera so we can hear you.
Okay. So I see the eyelashes.
Okay, you see the eyelashes on the back?
It's where I'm
top tension's
going
too
around the
tight.
corners.
So when you're making curves, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. That happens sometimes where it's inconsistent. You could be going too fast around them.
Right. And that's probably what I did.
Or you could
tighten your tension a bit.
Yeah, so it would go up a little bit when you start seeing them on the bottom. Basically, if you see them on the bottom, they go up. If you see them on the top, they go down. So it's opposite. But yeah, just like, did you mean it to be corners or did you mean it to be kind of soft curves?
Well, I just did a meander. I was just playing.
Okay.
And
It's
some of
just
them are
practice.
actual corners.
Yeah. Well, and you know,
Well,
some
that's
of
common.
them, it is. Some of them, even now, like if I try something like new, I'm gonna screw it up sometimes.
Well, I told my husband I was going to learn how to free motion quilt, and he asked me if I was going to free motion quilt our king size quilt, and I said, no, I'm
you're
sending
not.
that one off.
You can rent time on a machine somewhere. There's a
Yeah.
place that does that.
Most of the time your local place will your local shop will let you rent.
Well, our local shop.
Although getting used to that
she
motion is
It's very
required for the
different.
machine.
She is 87 and she is 6 months behind on her quilts. And
Wow.
Lord.
That's not
But
happening.
87 and still doing her
Yeah.
long arm quilts,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Pretty good.
It is.
Well, so there's another older lady, and when I was doing my chicken quilts, the reason I said I'm so good at my math is because I was off probably almost a whole inch on one of my rows. And so what I did was I cut it even. So yes, some of my blocks are not the same size. And she goes, were you asleep when you cut that or sewed that? And I was like, yeah, I must have been.
That's funny.
That's
They
how it is no matter
not
what I cut.
hold back that generation with their comments.
That's true.
Oh goodness.
Okay, Stephanie, can you text Stephanie my number and have her text me?
I don't have your number, but Chantel
Yeah,
can give you your number. and
Yeah,
then
that's I told Chantel
Yeah.
to give it to you.
okay. I
Well,
do
you're
not
gonna have to give me
share my
Stephanie
phone with
Brennan's
everyone.
number. We can do this.
We can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I just do not currently know where my cell phone is. It is probably upstairs.
Okay, let me text
Tomorrow.
you.
Good night,
Or-
Sherry. Thanks for joining us.
I'll send you a message in the chat.
We can all connect. It'll be fun.
Yes.
You will start to get sewing memes from Stephanie B.
I know. Well,
You
I
already are.
bought an extra, okay, so I'm gonna make my daughter some maternity dresses, and so I wanted to run some stuff by her, because I had some ideas, and they're things that I haven't did in a long time, and one I've never done, and so I wanted to discuss that a little bit with her. But as it turned out, when I went to Joann's to buy the patterns because they were having the $2 sale for the McCalls, the one store I went to, I bought a pattern and I thought it rang up wrong. So when I went to the second store to find the patterns that the first store was out of stock of, I rebought the pattern with the intent of taking the first pattern back because I thought I paid full price for it and not $2. And then I looked at my receipt and it was like $2. And I'm like, oh, so now what am I going to do with two patterns? It's not even worth the gas to go across town to the store to return it. So I thought I would send it to her because I figured she might like to have it too.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to make bias finding without it flopping everywhere? This is bullshit.
Okay. Take your 6.5-inch ruler
Stay flow.
and wrap it around it.
But I mean, the part where I'm supposed to like actually, I don't have a bias maker.
Oh. You
I
mean
hate
like
this
to put it into
project. I'm
thirds?
over it.
To
Stay
put it into
flow.
What?
thirds? To put it into thirds?
Yeah. Well, like it's just not, I mean, it's, this part.
You can put some pins into your ironing
Mhm.
board at the right size and create your own bias tape maker.
To the Google.
Actually, I'm here.
And if you have those long ones, use the long ones.
Ugh. I'm just so over this right now. I'm starting to sweat.
It's also
Maybe I'm
midnight,
hungry.
so maybe now
might be
is the best
hanger.
time to do this.
Yeah. I have hanger, I think.
I can't believe you don't have a bias maker.
I know, right?
Well,
I
it
don't
has to
never
be
had
like
any
the
trouble.
special size too. So
I mean, I had one at one point that was,
got it.
it wasn't a good one.
This is a mask making video, but the process still applies. You'll be
And this
fine.
keeps on falling apart. Yeah. I hate this project. I'm so over it. Even though I just started it.
I'm putting it in the chat on Zoom and online so people can see it. Here's the link.
Oh, we are 2 minutes away from midnight though, and I think
Oh,
I'm going to be
guys.
out at midnight.
Maker. I should probably also do the same because I have to
Yeah.
run around after children and plant things. And it's better after midnight around YouTube, apparently.
Oh, it's true. It gets weird.
Okay.
Is our friend Barbara still waiting?
Barbara
Oh.
left. Barbara is probably the voyeur
Barbara,
last week.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Barbara
saying.
likes midnight. We don't know that. And she might be very sweet. Just didn't know
She
the
might,
answer.
she might just be technology challenged, but she's
We
not
don't know.
waiting. She has not answered.
That
the-
I understand.
Yeah.
Technology challenge.
Barbara,
Yeah.
if you're technology challenged,
Curious that she
we-
moved on.
We
acknowledge that.
appreciate you trying.
we just have had we've had
Few
some interesting folks at
people
the
break
meeting.
in
Yes, well, they did break
in
in
unique
the net.
moments.
No, I like, how did you refer to it earlier? Spirited activity.
They were very spirited,
They were very. It was.
They used
enthusiastic to be
quilts
with
in a
us.
completely different way.
They did.
You were
Yeah, you weren't
upstairs
here
when
when I was
Chantel
saying all of
said
that, Stephanie.
Oh, was I gone already? Oh,
I was
goodness.
talking to myself basically, and yeah, it was a
All right, that link is in there for you, Chantel.
yay.
Okay, there.
Oops, sorry.
It was from the time of the math making when there was a elastic shortage and a bias tape maker shortage and an everything shortage.
And everything shortage.
Basically, all that stuff is made overseas. And so when there's no international shipping, we're all
There's just
having to
no.
figure out other things. But
See, like I know I have like one of the. It's not very good. I don't know.
So
Whatever.
I had quite an anomaly happen to me. It doesn't normally happen. Number one, I lost Bob and Chicken, which, okay, that happens to everybody, right? I wasn't really playing and it crept up on me. But then about 5 minutes later, I broke my needle.
oh no.
Oh,
And so it was
That's
a double
scary.
whammy. And so then I had to find my needles. I replaced my needle, and then my machine wasn't working and my thread kept breaking. So I'm troubleshooting this for like 45 minutes. And I'm doing everything, you know. And at QuiltCon, one of the ladies that was doing the machine troubleshooting for if you had problems in the classes and stuff, and she would go around and, you know, get you back up for your in your class, get you up work and everything. She said one of the main things is before you touch tension, before you do anything, you always unthread your machine, you take out your bobbin, you rethread and you re-put your bobbin in. She goes, that's A number one. She goes, even if you have to do it 5 times, she said sometimes it just takes a minute. And so I kept doing that and I kept doing that. And then I went to other things. My thread kept breaking. My thread kept breaking. 45 minutes later, my thread was still breaking. And I was like, what in the world? I'm looking up online, all the different things, trying to do all the things. Nothing is working. And so by some weird happenstance, I thought, well, let me take out my needle and put my needle in again. I had put my needle in backwards and it was breaking my thread.
I did that with a long arm once.
oops.
So it was the whole time. And I
It's
thought, oh my
always
God,
user error.
always.
Always.
Yeah.
God.
What I like, this was like my wake up call, like when I taught a couple weeks ago in person. Like, there are people who think it is not user error. And
Every
you
single time.
gotta, like, politely gentle parent them, even though they may be old enough to be your mother, and say, well, you know, it says here this, and then here you have to do this. And you can't get snippy. You just have to be like, well, actually, if you look here,
Yeah. Yeah, because it's probably something they've done all, you know, for a
I
very,
just
very
thought,
long time.
what a
Well-
knucklehead, you know, newbie move, put in my needle backwards, you know?
it happened.
I
That's
did that the
bad.
first time.
I mean,
guess
it's
I'm
funny
lucky.
now,
I'm
but
lucky
that
it
probably
didn't break
sucks.
a second time, you know?
I had a breaking thread issue too with this white I have. And I was sitting there, I mean, everything, the tension was right. I rethreaded it, did all that. And I thought, wait a minute, how thick is that darn thread? And I look up there, it's my basting thread.
Oh,
it wasn't adjusted to that thick of thread. Actually, it was the white will go through leather and all that stuff, but
Oh yeah.
the needle wasn't meant for that. And so
Angela Walters has a really good video about thread and needles and how it actually works and why you need them to work together. It's just a really helpful watch because it makes you understand like why you need to do that, why you have to care, because it
Ow.
seems stupid. It's not. I have to go, guys. I need to use the restroom. It's after midnight. If I bebop back in and you're still here, cool.
It's
If
okay.
not,
We can call
I
it a
will.
day. It is
Yeah,
rather late for all
I'm
of us.
done. It's after midnight and we managed nothing weird to happen. So we better
Well,
go.
we didn't let Barbara in. We don't know. We don't know what
We
she
don't
was
know.
Maybe
Maybe she actually
if
just
you're
had
watching
bias
this
finding.
still and it's just a challenge technology, please try again. But
Yeah, we'll try again next Friday.
if you're trying to spam us, you don't need to come back.
That's right.
No,
Okay.
we're not your
All right,
friend.
we will keep an eye on the channel though, because we are hopefully going to be doing some vlogs in the time that we are
Yeah.
not taking care of children. And once we figure out what time we will be in and what we are doing at that time, we will set up whatever we're doing for you guys.
Yeah, and I would say also check probably your TikTok and the Instagram because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that those will be a good place to find our little videos that we end up
Probably.
making.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny ones. So
Well, have fun. Be
We
safe.
will. Actually, the
You
next
know,
two
do lots of
were
working
on the
out.
cruise, I think. The next two
yeah,
Fridays.
3,
And
2.
then the third one we fly back. So we're not going to do it the 17th
Yeah.
because we will be tired.
Yeah.
But
We'll
alrighty.
be on a plane together.
That will be highly entertaining. We're
We'll
going to
see.
annoy
All
everybody.
right. Bye,
All right.
everyone.